dueling, going into turn one. Verstappen on the inside, they're going wheel to wheel. Fernando Alonso's going to watch out, and they make contact. Verstappen gets past and almost runs over the front wing of Lewis. Lewis Hamilton is all over Max Verstappen. This could be the title right here as Hamilton switches to the inside, and Verstappen just stays ahead as they now go left-handed. Here goes Verstappen down the inside on Lewis Hamilton, they make contact. And this time Hamilton goes round the outside in turn 4, goes off the track in doing so. Verstappen keeps his place out in front. As Max Verstappen over the hill comes wheel to wheel with Lewis Hamilton. Round the outside of turn 1 he goes. Verstappen's got the restart sorted. That was fantastic.
He's never been as excited as he has at the start of the campaign, and that's because at long last he's got competition from another team.
He's got a fight on his hands, hasn't he? You know, and he knows how good Max is. He's not silly, he knows how quick this guy is.
Lewis Hamilton, he's looking in his wing mirrors to see what's happening at the rear. It's Max Verstappen coming his way. Hamilton moves to the middle of the track, forces Verstappen wider at turn 1 and positions that Mercedes beautifully. But is that only temporary from Lewis Hamilton? Can he now hold Max Verstappen up as they head towards turn 4? Hamilton's going to force Verstappen the long way round. By the time they get to the corner, he's about a third of a car in front. By the time they get out of the corner, he's a whole car in front. Max Verstappen is ahead of Lewis Hamilton.
So we're taking the outside of the track.
Is that gaining an advantage in the way that the stewards would be looking at it?
Okay, for the moment, let Lewis through. Let Lewis through. We'll get back. Let him through.
Apparently Verstappen just had a tyre on the curb. Hang on, what's going on? No, he's giving it back to him. He's giving it, he didn't. Sorry, I misheard my radio call there. He's giving it back because he took the position off the racetrack.
He has been put under immense pressure by Max Verstappen and Red Bull here tonight. Sir Lewis Hamilton, as he is now, crosses the line and wins the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Get in there, Lewis. What a job, mate. What a race. Amazing.
Knowing how difficult today really was, it was so tough. For the first race, I was not expecting that we'd be in that position, be able to keep up with them in the first stint and stuff. So I was really grateful for it.
It's what it is. But in a way, I mean, of course, I'm disappointed about today. But last year we would be super happy with a race like this. So it also shows how much we have grown, and I think it's still a positive start to the season, and it's still a long season ahead.
We have 19 on the grid, then 1 in the.
I don't know if I've got damage. He pushed me right wide in turn 1.
Oh, and sliding off the road goes the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton.
Oh,
and I think he might be, unless he can find reverse, and he's kept the engine running. This is absolute disaster for Lewis Hamilton.
Broken front wing anyway, of course. Unfortunately, but yeah, he needed reverse before he needed first there.
Okay, Lewis, let us know if you can get it moving. Okay.
Hamilton off the track at turn 7. He's stopped and he's currently reversing, but he's got front wing damage.
Okay.
So, box.
So sorry, guys.
Yeah, no sweat.
And we're going to get a safety car now, because that's Valtteri Bottas and George Russell who are out of this race, and they look like they've had a big coming together as well. So the one person that has been helped is Lewis Hamilton, who was limping back to the pits anyway, but now does it under safety car conditions.
Okay, red flag, Max. Red flag. So follow the safety car into the pit lane.
Where have I dropped down to, sir?
Sorry, mate. So currently P9, showing P9.
Oh, Max Verstappen, what's happened there? just trying to light up his tyres somewhat on the entry into Ravazza, and a trip to the grass that wasn't part of the playbook.
We're going this up, yeah?
Hey, firm.
Into the chicane he goes. Stroll's going to make this hard. Hamilton hangs on in there. He's managed to clear Lance Stroll, and he's managed to clear Daniel Ricciardo. And he has got ahead of Carlos Sainz. Hamilton this time around close enough, and he does look to be an awful lot closer. And once again Norris makes him go the long way round, but Hamilton was close enough, under braking to get alongside and ahead to a man who's never won in Italy before, who DNF'd in all 3 races in Italy last year, and who wins the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix this afternoon.
Nice job.
Yes, well, that was tricky out there, but great job, guys. You managed that really well. Thank you. It was all looking good, and Lewis went off the track, so I thought, okay, well, that's going to be easy to cruise home. But then, of course, we had the big crash with the red flag. Yeah, we had to do a restart where I almost lost it. So it just shows you that it's so tricky out there with cold tires, you know, even in the wet. It's super easy to, let's say, make a mistake with these cars.
It was a difficult day in that regard. Max did a fantastic job today, so congratulations to him. And I think I had some really good pace in the rain, and I was catching, but just a little bit impatient maybe with the back markers, and caught me out. But you know, I'm only human, so these mistakes happen, and I'm grateful that I was back in the race and I could hunt down and get back to second.
Bottas once more is going to keep this pack backed up as long as he possibly can. Now he's going for it, and he's got the jump then on Hamilton and Verstappen behind him. Through the heat haze come 19 Formula One cars. Hamilton trying to pull out of the slipstream that Max Verstappen's getting behind him. Verstappen goes into turn 1 ahead of Hamilton. Got a little bit squirrely on the exit of turn 1, but that was a great move by Max Verstappen. He's up into second place. Hamilton is within striking distance of the Red Bull down the straight. Bottas continues to lead them. We're on lap. The gap was 0.8 of a second at the end of the last lap. It's half a second as they cross the line now. Hamilton's got DRS. He's within touching distance of his teammate. He's ahead of his teammate. Lewis Hamilton goes round the outside of Valtteri Bottas. And wow, what another good move that was from the world champion.
A brand new set of hard compact tyres, which is what you'd expect to be going on.
It needs to be 2 seconds to give Valtteri a real fighting chance. That's sweet, that's not so bad.
Verstappen is gaining on him very, very swiftly, but it was enough of a gap that Bottas had over Verstappen to get into the pits and out ahead. Question now, Martin Brundle on colder tyres, can he stay ahead?
This is his moment, look at that, sliding like crazy as Valtteri Bottas trying to get the power down, and immediately then Verstappen has a run up the inside, down into turn 5. He's got all the track position he needs. Now he will just finish the job off, and that all started when Bottas lit up the rear axle, coming out of turn 3 into 4, and Max just came up the inside of him with more confidence, more knowledge.
Sir Lewis Hamilton's been night and day ahead of the rest here in Portimao this afternoon. He wins the Portuguese Grand Prix.
That was good, bro. Thanks so much, Bono. All the guys, thank you so much. Let's keep pushing. There's a lot of work to do.
I felt like, I was quick behind Valtteri, and was waiting for him to pick the pace up, but it's feeling quite strong. And I thought that at that point in early parts of the race that I had the pace to potentially get by. But then safety car, then I lost out to Max at the restart, which was a mistake from my side. But I don't feel bad about it, naturally, because I fixed it.
Yeah, I think overall we just lacked a little bit of pace compared to them in the race. We knew last year already we were not that particularly strong here. I think this weekend has been a little bit better, but still not good enough.
It's lights out and away we go, and I think Verstappen got a slightly better start than Lewis Hamilton, and also Charles Leclerc a better start than Valtteri Bottas. Hamilton is just leading ahead then of Max Verstappen on the inside of the Ferrari Esteban Ocon as Verstappen goes into turn 1 and goes past the Mercedes. He got his elbows out there, Max Verstappen, and takes the lead of the race from Lewis Hamilton and then Valtteri Bottas. They're all clean through the first couple of corners, but that was such an important move for Verstappen, and he got it done well.
What are these yellow flags for then in sectors 2 and 3? Because there are not too many cars up the road.
So double yellow, double yellow. So car on the outside.
Safety car deployed, dash positive, dash positive.
He's going to slipstream Lewis in the pack all the way down the straight, and he's gone.
He's gone right now, no overtaking of course until you get to the line, but Max Verstappen is off and running, and Lewis Hamilton trying to get to a spot where the Ferrari behind him can't get the benefit of a tow.
Tires are starting to drop.
Okay, copy. Gap at 1.2. Last lap at 23.3.
The tyres on Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes.
The right rear looks ugly, doesn't it?
Doesn't it just?
That looks blistered. The right rear is blistered.
Max Verstappen 2/10 in the first sector on this lap, 2/10 in the second sector on this lap.
Lewis could take a really tight line. Oh, look at that. Max really struggling with traction coming out of T12 into 13, but Lewis looks like he can move across the track a little bit better now. And has he? Oh, and Verstappen pits.
Verstappen pits. He saw the tyre performance graphic, both drivers pretty even, but Mercedes have opted to carry on as Verstappen pits. Well, Karun Chandok, to you.
Yeah, he's right below me, Crofty. They're a bit slow on the rear left. The rear left tyre very slow to come out. I don't know if it was a late call, but they were slow to bring the tyre out, and that's cost him time. This is a huge opportunity. And once again, an opportunity given to Mercedes and Hamilton.
It's a 50-50 choice, go long or go short. Mercedes have decided to go long with Lewis Hamilton.
So Lewis, it won't be long. Currently unsafe to Verstappen, 4 seconds. Predicted 22.9.
Hamilton comes in for his pit stop. Karun, to you.
Yeah, all the tyres are here, unlike the Red Bull situation. The team nice and early. Hamilton gets a clean entry into his pit rock. No problems here, all the way on track. That's a super stop from Mercedes. Lots of fist bumping here from the mechanics.
There goes Verstappen down the straight as Hamilton comes out, but Hamilton will be on tyres 5 or 6 laps fresher. 5 laps fresher.
Lewis is giving that full beams, isn't he? Tremendous.
Okay, Lewis, box opposite Verstappen. Box opposite Verstappen.
Oh, he's pitting.
Oh, he's pitting. So,
wow.
Mercedes committing then to the 2-stop strategy and pitting right now.
So, has that caught Red Bull unawares? He'll certainly have some more grip now.
What a strategy move by Lewis Hamilton and by Mercedes.
So outlap critical, and let's go strap 5.
Max Verstappen on his way to victory in Portugal. Is he going to do it again here in Spain 7 days later, getting showered in rubber from the rear of that Red Bull? Hamilton goes around the outside at turn 1, and the charge is complete. Hamilton, by making an extra stop, has been given the opportunity by Mercedes to go on and win the race, and he now leads on lap 60. And it's the checkered flag as the winner of the Spanish Grand Prix for Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, Lewis, perfect combination, great strategy and bold, and great driving. Congratulations.
Congrats, Toto. That's you.
I thought the start was okay, but there was a lot of rubber on the right side, and he got a great start. And I tried to defend, but no, didn't work out. I think then after that, we just focused on trying to get as close as I could, which was very difficult, and make the tires last at the same time. But I think tire management was really was really nice. So I'm really proud of that, and fantastic effort with fantastic job by the team with strategy.
Once he made that second stop, I knew that I could not pit again. Of course, then he passed me in the end of the race, and then we were like, okay, let's go for the fast lap, which worked out this time. But yeah, it's tough, you know, when you're up there in the front and the two Mercedes cars are behind you again, and yeah, they basically can choose their strategy.
And who's going to take it this afternoon? It's lights out and away we go. Bottas got away well. Verstappen comes over to cover him and does cover off the Mercedes into Sandoval. Bottas locks up. He's in second.
To show us how much more pace you got.
This is where the pit wall is probably more important than the driver right now.
Lewis Hamilton has gained somewhat on Pierre Gasly.
Okay, Lewis, it's all going to start happening pretty soon, I think. Gaps are starting to appear. Okay, Lewis, box opposite Gasly. Box opposite Gasly.
Stopping now, hard compound tyre to go on to that Mercedes to get him towards the end.
So box, 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 brake balance for the box.
Valtteri Bottas now pits for Mercedes, so they brought Hamilton in, and a lap later in comes Valtteri Bottas, and it's the hard side
right
too, but
front's not even off yet.
They can't get the right front off.
And look at this then.
How am I still behind him, man? Come on.
Hamilton wants to know why it didn't quite work out. Gasly, by a car length and a half, is ahead of Hamilton there. That is it. Over for Valtteri Bottas. Vettel reacting then and has that inside line as they come through Sandoval. Vettel, is he ahead of Gasly? They're going to go wheel to wheel up Beau Rivage here.
What has just happened, guys? It's lost 2 places.
Strat. 12 in pit lane.
Race leader Max Verstappen now comes in to make his stop. Lap 34, this Monaco Grand Prix. It's his first win in Monaco. Max Verstappen leads the World Championship and wins the Monaco Grand Prix.
Yes, nice race. Well done. I think we managed that really well, guys. We looked after our tires well, and I mean the concentration levels for 78 laps is enormous. But of course, yeah, amazing. And of course, to lead the championship is a nice bonus.
We lost a lot of points today. Poor, really poor performance from the team, and definitely a little bit surprised by it, but these things are sent to tries.
Five lights on ahead of the drivers. It's lights out and away we go, and Leclerc gets away well ahead of Hamilton and Verstappen, and then you have Sainz and Gasly scrapping away behind them, but it's Charles Leclerc with a clear lead going through turn 1. He's got the start, he's got the pole, and he's got away from Lewis Hamilton. Now we see the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc has Lewis Hamilton right behind him, and Leclerc's been leading throughout this race, but not for long, because Hamilton's got the toe, he's got the slipstream, he doesn't need DRS, and he makes the pass to take the lead of this race. Leclerc's going to try and fight him back going into turn 1, but it's Hamilton now ahead of Leclerc with Verstappen in third. Well, Verstappen's closing. Is he going to be brave enough under braking to take it at turn 1? No. And we're watching Charles Leclerc under massive pressure from Max Verstappen. He's had to wait a few laps to get past the Ferrari. It's happened now at the beginning of lap 7. Hamilton leads. Verstappen is now second and chasing after the Mercedes.
Oh, they're coming in, Mercedes, look, that's his tires.
Hamilton comes in, Verstappen and Perez stay out. Hamilton, it's a slow stop again, but he had to wait for the other car.
Box and pit confirm, Max. Box and pit confirm.
Head down to you.
Yeah, I can see it just a couple of garages down. Let's have a look. Yeah, going well so far. No, that's not bad. That's very solid, isn't it, Crofty?
How is he so far ahead of me?
We had hold at the stop.
Sergio Perez is approaching the moment where he could come into the pits, and he's staying to the left-hand side, and he is, I think, coming into the pits. He is definitely coming into the pits. Verstappen now making his way down the main straights. The tyres are put on, hard compound tyre. But Sergio Perez has a problem at the rear. We'll get Ted Kravitz thoughts on that in a moment. 4.3 second stop for Perez. That's undone all his good work. As you see Max Verstappen going into turn 1. Where's Hamilton now? Coming through turn 1. Sergio Perez comes out in second place, still ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen is ahead. Sergio Perez behind his teammate. Hamilton behind now both Red Bulls.
Okay, 5 laps to go, Max. 5 laps. Happy with your brake pedal.
Oh, and it's Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen on the main straight. Leading this race, now out of this race. Sergio Perez leads from Lewis Hamilton.
The fucking tyre. Fuck!
Red flag, a red flag. So entering the pit lane.
You got to remember that this is a marathon, not a sprint, so got to be measured how aggressive you go.
Perez on pole, Hamilton alongside him on the front row. Perez gets away well, Hamilton will wheel spin. Sebastian Vettel is coming at them as well. Perez trying to cut off Hamilton, who locks up and goes straight on. Perez leads from Sebastian Vettel, and then comes Pierre Gasly and Charles Leclerc, and Hamilton has gone from second in the race to falling out of the point.
Oh, I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah, don't sweat it, Lewis. Don't sweat it.
Did I have the magic on?
Yeah, bud. Yeah, just knock that on.
I could have sworn I turned it off.
Unknowingly hit a switch and it basically just switched off the rear brakes and only the fronts were working, so it just went straight. And you know, it's really painful, but I'm really sorry to the team for this day. You know,
Frustrating and very disappointing. So close to the finish to retire with a tire blowout. So yeah, it's a big shame. Sometimes you can hate the sport for a few hours, and then yeah, I'll be fine again.
Who's going to win today? It's lights out and away we go. Even start from the front two. Bottas gets away better than Perez, who's quickly caught by Carlos Sainz. Verstappen leading them then down to...
These tyres are not going to last what you're expecting.
Lewis reporting raining on the front.
Yeah, for me also starting tiny bit now, but still not affecting the grip yet.
We've had a lot of rubber laid down, but we had quite a bit of rain this morning, Martin, which would have washed the track slightly cleaner.
Box, box, box. Brake balance for the line.
But that shows you how powerful the undercut is. The Ferrari stopping first, Leclerc back ahead of his team, ahead of Ricciardo now as Valtteri Bottas comes in and will be holding his breath that this pit stop works well. And boy, did that pit stop work well. 2.5 seconds.
Box and pit confirm, please, Max. Box, pit confirm. We'll have Strat 12 in pit lane.
Okay, so 5 fastest pit stops of the season so far for the Red Bull team. They need another very good pit stop here because Verstappen's a bit vulnerable. It's not sub 2 seconds. So Hamilton has to now get his foot down to watch out for the undercut from Max Verstappen. But look how that gap has closed between Verstappen and Bottas by Bottas pitting first.
Am I using it all up or are we coming in? Oh,
we're coming in. Use it all. Got to come in. So box, box.
It's so tight, that pit lane entry. Hamilton stops. Verstappen making his way around turn 12. Very neat change there from the Mercedes crew. This is going to be a little tighter than Mercedes would really have liked.
That's Verstappen alongside.
Is he ahead of Max Verstappen? No, he is not. Give him enough time.
We cannot keep this up till the end of the race, that's for sure.
Lewis, Verstappen doesn't think these tyres will last to the end if you keep this pressure on.
I agree, let's make sure we undercut them this time.
If I push any more than this, there's no chance to get to the end with these tyres.
Someone's pitting at Red Bull.
Box and pit confirm, please, Max. Box, pit confirm. Strat 12 in pit lane. Strat 12 in pit lane.
Right, now this swings around. It is a two-stop race as far as Max Verstappen and Red Bull are concerned. Let's watch the tyres go on. It's mediums for the end of the race. No problem with that pit stop, and he's back out.
So you expected to catch me at any stage?
Copy, Lewis. Depends on how easy it is for him to get through Valtteri.
This is critical now. This is going to decide for me. This will decide who's going to win the race. How long it takes Verstappen to get past Bottas.
Verstappen in second place.
Why the fuck no one listened to me when I said it's gonna be a two-stopper? Fucking hell.
I want to see those two overtake each other. I want to see wheel-to-wheel action because it's exactly what we need at the French Grand Prix. So you can see Verstappen nice and tight. He's going to get DRS, he's going to get a good slipstream, and he's going to put Hamilton.
Gifted almost Hamilton the lead. They've got it back and they've retaken that lead. Yes, they have. Max Verstappen goes past Lewis Hamilton, and with 1 and a bit laps to go, Verstappen retakes the lead of the French Grand Prix. As Max Verstappen rounds the final corner, he sees his team cheering on the right-hand side, he sees the checkered flag, and he wins the French Grand Prix!
Mate, it is sweet being the hunter. Won that race. Excellent job.
Of course, not an easy race. Of course, happy that I won, but you can see it's so close between the two teams. So a strategy decision can make the difference. So hopefully, yeah, you will see this for the rest of the season.
Underlyingly, they were just much quicker than us this weekend. We're losing 3.5 tenths just in a straight line. So you saw him fly past me down the straight. There was nothing I could do to keep him on.
It's lights out and away we go. Verstappen gets the better start. Perez and Lando Norris jockeying for position. Verstappen leads them then into turn 1 from Hamilton on the inside. Perez pushes Lando Norris wide. Also going wide is Charles Leclerc.
Gone in all right, he's picked up the throttle, and yeah, so oversteer, and then he had to walk the car, he had to counter steer.
So box.
Hamilton then stops on his marks, the team go to service, and on he goes, a nice clean stop, so it's up to Red Bull if they can react as Hamilton goes underneath me, and he'll want a nice clean outlap to try and make an impact.
Box and pit confirm, please, Max. Box, pit confirm.
He leaves the box, nice and clean, absolutely perfect, no problems with the rear left, on he goes.
Okay, Lewis, it's all about getting to the end now, so 20 laps remaining.
Max Verstappen slows down to take the checkered flag and absolutely crush the opposition.
Yeah, unbelievable. The car was on fire today. So nice to drive. Unbelievable. Thank you very much. We had a very positive race, but there are of course always things what we can do better. But I definitely expect it to be closer because normally when you do another weekend, automatically everyone will be a bit closer.
Yeah, they were rapid today. Absolutely gave everything pushed to the maximum. Just unfortunately just couldn't answer to any of the lap times that they would put in.
And the green light is waved. It's the Austrian Grand Prix here at the Red Bull Ring. And it's lights out and away we go. It's Verstappen ahead of Norris, Perez ahead of Hamilton, and Perez closes off the thread of Hamilton, and into turn 1 we go. Look up behind, but Max Verstappen's through safely, as is Norris, Perez, and then comes Bottas and Hamilton, and they're making up places already. Hamilton ahead then of Bottas. Gasly has just dropped back a little bit as well, and towards turn 3 we go now.
Again, Hamilton's putting pressure on, Perez heading down to turn 4, is he going to get it done? He's going to go the long way round. Who's going to get the lap of downforce as they get in there, and Perez making his car as wide as possible.
Someone has gone off into the gravel, and we've got a safety car as everything now slows down.
Safety car deployed, Max. Safety car deployed. Stay out, and dash positive. So Ocon has stopped between turns 3 and 4.
safety car peels into the pit lane. We're under green flag racing conditions, but Verstappen won't want to go too early because he won't want to give Norris the slipstream coming down the main straights, and Checo Perez in his 200th Grand Prix having to put the brakes on to stop himself going past Lando Norris there, and now we can get away, and they're all trying to hunt for that slipstream, aren't they? And Perez is going to try and go around the outside of Lando Norris. Oh, and they almost touch as Perez has to go wide, and now he's got the upper hand as they make their way towards turn 3. Verstappen leads, Norris then in second place. Perez is trying to fight back. Hamilton and Bottas getting involved as well. On the inside, there goes Lando Norris. Bottas has to pull out before he hits Sergio Perez, and the two Mercedes, well, swapping places there. Bottas got himself into a bit of a pickle, but he has come out on top and ahead of his teammate. Sergio Perez now, turn 4, trying to go the long way round the outside. His duel continues with Lando Norris as he now goes onto the gravel, and he loses 6 or 7 places as a result of that. That was not what Perez needed. He's down to 10. So it's Verstappen ahead of Norris, ahead of Hamilton, the 1, 2, 3 at the moment.
Very hard to follow.
Yeah, copy that.
There are some curves to show you. You don't want to be going that way, Lando, once or twice too often in this race. Lando Norris in second place at the moment, under pressure from Lewis Hamilton going into turn 3. He won't have been told about that penalty yet, but he could get the double whammy here on lap 20 of being overtaken by Hamilton and getting a penalty as well, because Hamilton is going to dive down the inside at turn 4, and maybe Norris's tyres are going off a little bit.
So box, follow Norris. If you box, you're boxing, otherwise stay out.
Lando Norris is coming in at McLaren as well.
Bottas.
And Bottas, you would imagine, for Mercedes. Norris makes his stop now.
Lando brakes on when you come to a stop. This will be a 5-second penalty.
But of course they have to wait 5 seconds because of that penalty that he picked up for forcing Sergio Perez off the road, and because of that penalty, well, Valtteri Bottas has managed to jump Lando Norris in the pit stops.
Okay, let's so box. Watch the white line on entry. White line.
Okay, Max, so Hamilton, Bottas and Norris have all pitted. We are boxing this lap, please. Box and pit confirm this lap.
And Lewis may have picked up some damage to the rear left aero surfaces.
So please stay away from exit curb at 10. Lewis might have some damage from that. Gap ahead 4.6.
That's where Hamilton might have got his damage. You don't want to go across those sausage curves too often.
No, well, if he's still doing that with the damaged car, it's going to make it even worse, and you can see the shock that goes through the suspension.
Okay, Valtteri will invert the cars into turn 1. Correction, turn 3.
So invert into turn 3. Valtteri passed in turn 3.
Valtteri Bottas on the inside of Lewis Hamilton moves up into second place. Hamilton doesn't want to lose too much pace here, so doesn't want to slow down because you can see Lando Norris right behind him. This is the battle for the final podium place, and Lando Norris is going to try around the outside. He's almost off the track as he does it, and Lewis Hamilton gets a decent enough exit to keep the McLaren at bay. But here comes Norris again. This time it's the inside at turn 6. Lando Norris has got Lewis Hamilton, and he moves back up into the podium places. The Dutch fans have come to Austria to see him win again. They came, they saw, he conquered. Max Verstappen wins the Austrian Grand Prix, and once again, he's crushed the opposition.
Wow, even better than last week. The car was on rails on every tyre. Incredible, guys.
Yeah, it was really good today. I expected it to be good, but not this good. And yeah, both compounds, I think the pace was just really comfortable there. I mean, also managing tires and stuff, you know. So yeah, really happy with how the whole race went.
Obviously, lost a lot of ground over these last 4 races, so it's been pretty painful. But and then today to lose second place due to some damage on the floor is not really anything I could do about it. But definitely super unlucky.
5 lights are on. For the sprint, it's lights out and away we go. And I think Verstappen got a better start than Lewis Hamilton, and he's already ahead. Valtteri Bottas is trying to pressure his teammate as well. But Verstappen into turn 1, ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Then comes Bottas, and then comes Leclerc.
For the third time this year, Max Verstappen has out-dragged Hamilton down to the first corner. Now he's trying to break the slipstream into Brooklands corner. Hamilton will not get around the outside there because it's too tight. The corner tightens on you. Luffield, a long, long right-hand corner into Woodcote and the old pit straight.
And down towards Cox we're going to head now on this old pit straight. Can Hamilton try and get back ahead of Max Verstappen? And he's trying to get a slipstream as well. Hamilton's going to try and dance around the outside. Verstappen stays ahead. The qualifying sprint on this Saturday goes to Max Verstappen for the 4th race in a row in 2021. Verstappen's going to be on pole. He sprints home to take the sprint on this Saturday. Red Bull with the victory.
Good job. That was nice.
You could see it was very close again between Lewis and me. We were pushing each other hard in the beginning of the race. And I expect it to be the same tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow we run on full tank, and the cars will feel a little bit different.
It's been incredibly positive to step forward. We got pole yesterday, so super proud of my team and of the guys. I think it's yeah, we've got to keep pushing. We got to take another step somehow in order to really take the fight to them in the race. But I'll give it everything tomorrow.
We've got royalty, we've got A-listers, we've got 20 of the best drivers in the world on the grid at Silverstone, and it's lights out and away we go. Once again, Max Verstappen gets a decent start. Not as good as yesterday. Hamilton is right with him. Leclerc is already ahead of Bottas. Verstappen's ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Going through the second turn, it's the Red Bull, but Hamilton's coming back. Into Village we go. It is Verstappen from Hamilton, then Leclerc, Bottas and Ricciardo ahead of his teammate Lando Norris.
Verstappen's going to have to weave like crazy. Hamilton got a better drive off the loop. He will be faster down the Wellington straight into Brooklands.
Not going to get a chance to weave because already Hamilton is with him. They almost touch. They go into Brooklands. Verstappen stays ahead. The crowd roar their approval for this. The 2 championship contenders giving it everything.
It's not over yet because Hamilton gets another slipstream all the way down the old pit straight into Cops corner. These are critical corners for this Grand Prix.
Hamilton's going to try again, this time on the inside. A continent touch. Verstappen is out of the race, and that's a big crash into Cops. Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen coming together. Hamilton continues on. Charles Leclerc now leads the British Grand Prix.
I got damage.
We're ready for you in the box. So safety car, keep the delta positive. Let's know what you need.
Just turned in on me.
That's the sight I did want to see after a very nasty collision into the tyre barriers. Max Verstappen getting out of the car, but he looks winded and he looks hurt, and he's going to be limping away, Martin Brundle, from that accident.
That'll be a horrible impact.
I was ahead going in there, man.
Yeah, copy, Lewis.
Fully alongside, it's my line. Is Max okay?
He's out of the car.
Will restart this race in the lead. He's got a Ferrari in front of him.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll be too long dispatching that, if I'm honest, in terms of the ultimate pace of those 2 cars. We'll see.
Charles Leclerc, he's going to start on the front of the grid at the head of the field for our restart here at Silverstone, where it's lights out and away we go. Even Stevens for the front 2, but already Lando Norris is closing down on Valtteri Bottas as Charles Leclerc leads them into Abbey from Hamilton, and then Lando Norris, Valtteri Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo.
So it looks like we have a 10-second time penalty, 10-second. Leclerc 1.2 ahead, Norris 2 behind.
No, the engine cut. The engine stopped. He's going again. Tell me what's happening.
You can go ahead, continue, keep going.
Now that's why the gap came down by about half a second. Engine power unit problems for Charles Leclerc, cutting out, but then going once again. Hard tyres going on for Lando Norris is a problem, and he's there a little bit longer than he would have wanted, and it was the right rear tyre.
And Bottas is coming in. Mercedes are responding to this.
So it's a bit of a gift, this, from McLaren to Mercedes, their engine partners. It's the hard tyres that go on. This needs to be perfect for Bottas. It is perfect for Bottas.
Front left is dead, man.
Okay, copy. So box, 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 box.
Okay, so Hamilton comes in. It's going to be long, of course. Now, the man who's making this work is the sporting director, Ron Meadows. He's just standing by the mechanics. He's started his stopwatch, as the great Murray Walker would say. He's having a look at it, and he's going to tap all the guys on the shoulder. There you go. He's tapped the guy with the big orange banner to then lift his banner up, and then they change the tyres.
He is going to come out onto the track behind Valtteri Bottas with Sainz, Bottas and Norris, but ahead comfortably of Pierre Gasly, which is, I think, where Mercedes were expecting Lewis Hamilton to feed back into in this race.
And box is lap box.
And Ferrari fans the world over, this is an important pit stop, and we have seen problems affecting Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz as off go the wheels. The guns are in place, and Charles Leclerc is away. And soon to be going past the old pits here that we used to have at the Silverstone race circuit for the British Grand Prix towards Copse. Here goes Lewis Hamilton. This is where he tangled with Max Verstappen. On this occasion, he was clear and he was well ahead going into Copse, and he makes the move, and it's clean. Hamilton back up into the podium places.
Okay, Valtteri, we invert the cars into turn 15 this lap.
So turn 15 is Stowe, and we arrive at Stowe with Lewis Hamilton up into second place in this race.
He's picking up the pace, man.
Lewis, you are looking strong, mate. Let's keep it up.
Right, remember what happened at Copse on lap 1? Here goes Hamilton on lap 50. Oh, and he tries to get past Leclerc and goes off the track. Has Hamilton got through? Yes, he has. He's into the lead by the time they get into Maggots. It was almost another Copse collision, but Hamilton has put his Mercedes into the lead. He chases the checkered flag. He wins the British Grand Prix for an 8th time here at Silverstone, and Hamilton is back in the championship hunt. Don't you forget it.
Yes! Get in there, Lewis, man. What an amazing drive. An amazing day.
What a great job, guys. This goes to everyone back at the team and the factories. Thank you so much for continuing to push this year. I'm so inspired by you guys. There's a long way to go, but let's keep pushing, guys. I believe in you.
That's lovely to see, Lewis. You know how much that would have meant to him, the victory, but 8 times British Grand Prix winner. How does that feel?
Oh, God. It's massively overwhelming, and oh God, it was such a physically difficult race. What great weather. We've got the best crowd. Our home crowd is the best. Thank you guys so much. Honestly, there's nowhere we go where we see people like this. They ain't got what we got. I'm so grateful to the fans. You know, I wish everyone to stay safe as always and get home safely, but this is a dream for me today, to do this in front of you all. I couldn't have done it without the great teamwork from Valtteri and the amazing effort from the team.
I'm sure it's not the way you wanted the race to go with your battle with Max. It happens, but your fight back from there was fantastic, and it must be a very difficult mentally when you're fighting back with a 10-second penalty.
It is tough, I think. You know, I've been giving my all this past week. Been in the factory, just giving it absolutely every, trying to uncover performance for this car with the guys, and I'm so proud of everyone for just continuing to work, even though we've had a bit of a deficit. Today, of course, always try to be measured in how I approach, particularly with battling with Max. You know, he's very aggressive, And then today, I mean, I was fully alongside him, and he didn't let me in space. So, but regardless of whether I agree with the penalty, I take it on the chin, and I just kept working. I was like, I'm not going to let anything get in the way.
I've got a question for both you and Lewis now. There's been a lot of talk about what happened on the opening lap at Silverstone. If you two end up wheel to wheel after the start tomorrow...
Now, can we just already stop about this? Because we had so many questions about this. It's just ridiculous, honestly. Honestly, the whole Thursday, we've been answering this all the time. So can we just stop about it, please?
Okay.
We are racers, we will race. And of course, we're going to race hard, but fair. So we just keep pushing each other.
Lewis, anything from you?
You can see raindrops on the bodywork of the Red Bull. Max Verstappen starts third. He's got an 8-point lead going into this race at the top of the championship.
I hope the rain does come, because I think we should have started slicks.
Wow, what a message. Like, they have no idea. Is intermediate tires even the right thing to go on? Should it be slicks now? We are in for a thrilling start to this Grand Prix.
Yeah, there's Inters.
Are you ready for some action then? All the talking stops right now because it's lights out and away we go, and Hamilton does get away very well indeed. Bottas doesn't. Verstappen's already nearly alongside him, and there goes Lando Norris down the inside. It is Hamilton ahead of Verstappen. Bottas has dropped 3 or 4 places, and there's Lando Norris touched, and into each other goes Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez, and that's the Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri getting caught up as the McLaren spun round with the Ferrari as well.
We've seen it, Max.
Take my car.
We've seen it, we're looking.
So contact cars behind. You've got 2 seconds to Ocon.
There's so much debris.
Yeah, copy.
Need the track out here.
Okay, Max, for info, we have lost the barge board on the right-hand side. Lost the barge board right-hand side.
The whole thing?
Yes.
Okay, red flag, red flag. So you're coming into the pit lane, staying in the fast lane.
There's debris everywhere.
Yeah, roger.
And look how dry the track seems to be.
Crofty, it is incredible how quickly that track is drying out there.
If you're Max Verstappen, you've got nothing to lose by coming in. If you're Lewis Hamilton, surely you're not going to come in for slick tyres.
At this rate, everyone is going to box. Everybody.
Understood.
Oh, we could get a standing start from the pit lane for every single car here, and if everyone does box, and they are standing by and they are ready with tyres, they are the red tyres. Is he going to dive into the pit lane? No, he's not, but Esteban Ocon is. Ocon's making the choice to come in for tyres, and his crew are ready for him with a medium compound tyre.
Loads of people come into the pit lane already.
Yep, roger, we think this is the right one.
Hamilton's going to be the only one who's going to start this race.
What a crazy situation, and what a race in the pit lane at the moment.
Well, the rest have all got to wait in the pit lane until Hamilton goes past, and then they can rejoin the race. What Hamilton needs to do here is to get as far ahead as possible of the rest of the field, otherwise he is going to lose out big time. It's going to be lights out and away we go for Lewis Hamilton only. The race leader is the only driver who's not come into the pit lane to change tyres. Now, he can race full blast down towards turn 1. There's nobody behind him, and through he goes. But out now, into the race comes the Williams of George Russell, who is up in a 2nd place.
Yeah, it's dry.
Yeah, copy Lewis, box.
Now Hamilton stops. Esteban Ocon takes the lead. Sebastian Vettel goes through when Hamilton comes out into this race.
Okay, so you are past Hamilton. He was the only car that stayed out. You're past him.
Am I last?
Yeah, 8 fenders. Yeah, the whole field pitted.
Come on, guys. Get on it for the rest of the race, alright?
Yeah, Lewis, we are on it. Verstappen still has damage. You're going to be the fastest man out there easily. You can still win this, bud.
as there goes Lewis Hamilton on Antonio Giovinazzi. He needs to clear a few cars to get near Max Verstappen. First one cleared, the Alfa Romeo passed, and Hamilton up to 13. Down the main straight there, Schumacher defending against Verstappen, Gasly defending against Hamilton, Verstappen trying to go round the outside of Mick Schumacher. They come close, Verstappen goes off the road, Schumacher stays ahead of the Red Bull, Hamilton can't get past Gasly. Now Verstappen's going to go and try round the outside at turn 2, he's got the pace advantage, Schumacher's got the inside line, they bang wheels as Verstappen goes through turn 3, he gets his elbows out and he muscles his way past the Haas, Verstappen into the points, Hamilton still stuck behind the AlphaTauri. DRS for Lewis Hamilton, it's Ferrari powered Haas against Mercedes powered Mercedes, and that was as easy as Lewis Hamilton wanted it. Into turn 1, he's up to 11th, still Gasly between him and Max Verstappen. Into the pits though comes Lewis Hamilton. Now he's setting fastest laps of this race, but is there more pace in this Mercedes? Do they need to put Lewis on a different strategy here to try and force his way back into this race again?
Everything you've got this lap, please, Max.
Getting track position here at the Hungaroring is so crucial. We're seeing drivers getting stuck behind others at the moment. Just ask Yuki Tsunoda and Carlos Sainz. So now getting a bit of track position is what they want, and that's why Red Bull are making this pit stop, but also they don't want Hamilton trying to undercut them. And coming round the final corner at the moment is Lewis Hamilton.
So 2 cars on exit, Ricciardo and Verstappen.
Here comes Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton's going to get past Max Verstappen. Can he get past Daniel Ricciardo as well? That will be double bubble if you're Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes. And the undercut has worked here at the Hungaroring. Lewis Hamilton has now got clean air in front of him and Max Verstappen behind him.
Phenomenal job there from Lewis and Mercedes. Have you seen that middle sector from Lewis? It was absolutely blistering pace.
Latifi's running in 7th, not any longer he's not. Lewis Hamilton makes his way up into 7th. Hamilton's going to go for it with Yuki Tsunoda round the outside at turn 4. It's too risky on the inside, it's not too risky on the outside.
Is that the guy ahead's last stop or what?
Copy, we think so.
Okay, right now, the rears are fucked.
He's struggling on the rears, but we're expecting him to come in again and then charge to the checkered flag.
Guy's got second win.
That's great to hear.
And he will come out into the race behind Fernando Alonso in 5th place.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is hammer time.
How many cars, where am I in? How many cars are you going to make me overtake?
So Lewis, 4 cars to overtake for the win. We can do this. Ocon 25 seconds up the road. He's doing 22.8.
This time he's on one side, and I think they might have touched there as well. Hamilton had to back out of it.
Guys, you see he just moved over on me, man. Come on.
This is incredible fighting spirit between 2 drivers.
Very close now.
Here comes Hamilton. He just backed off a little bit too early, but Alonso has locked up. This is Hamilton's chance. It has been coming for a few laps now. You can hear the cheers from the crowd. Hamilton is up in the 4th place, but he's still got to defend it. Alonso tried to go round the outside, wasn't quite alongside him, and Hamilton is now released from behind the Alpine to chase after Carlos Sainz. around the final corner this time around, but Sainz has got DRS because he's about to lap Daniel Ricciardo. Moves over to the right-hand side. Hamilton is with him. Hamilton has got the pace advantage and has got better traction coming out of that corner. Sainz forces him deep to try and put some more pressure on him, but it doesn't quite happen. And through goes Lewis Hamilton into the podium places here in Hungary. Sainz is going to fight this one back. Eventually, he might have to yield. He does yield. It is Ocon, it is Vettel, it is Hamilton, the top three, and Verstappen still down in 10th.
Great work, Lewis. Battled back to P3. Disappointing result compared to what could have been, but that was an amazing drive.
That was a very good drive, Max. Considering the car that you got, you drove the wheels off it. So, as GP said, that's a valuable 1 point today.
It's definitely probably, we always make it difficult for ourselves, and crazy to think we're the only ones on the grid at the start, but these things happen and we learn from them. I gave it everything and I have nothing left at the end. So.
Sure. Yeah, I jumped ahead of myself with that 100th win and 9th, obviously here in Hungary, but tell us about, not the initial start, because you probably didn't see very much going on, but the second start after the red flag where you were the only man to actually take that start. What went wrong there?
I mean, I was telling the team how the track was through the lap, but they said the rain was coming at this, when we got in the car, so I thought they had other information, and I saw everyone diving in. Anyways.
Yeah, but you've taken the championship lead. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, we came in this weekend, definitely didn't know how it was going to go, and considering the circumstances today, I'll take it.
The car was just extremely difficult to drive, and of course I gave it all I had, and at least we could take 1 point. It's better than nothing, but yeah, the last two races haven't gone our way, and it was of course not our fault, but yeah, we just need to keep, being focused, try to forget about it and just look ahead.
Provisional pole for the Williams and George Russell. Now, Lewis Hamilton will be next to cross the line to try and catch him. Hamilton's had 101 poles. He can't deny George Russell here in Spa this afternoon. Russell is still on provisional pole. Perez can't deny him. Verstappen has had an excellent middle sector. He can.
Yes, Verstappen's going fast enough to just sneak ahead of Russell. What a lap from George Russell. But Verstappen's still got to make it through the final two apexes. He's done that nicely.
And now it's the charge to the line for Max Verstappen. It's going to come up quickly. Is it going to come up quickly enough for pole? Yes, it is. Verstappen denies George Russell. It is Red Bull on pole. You can hear the Dutch fans cheer that one.
It was very tricky out there, the whole qualifying, to nail a lap. It's also a lot about, tire temp related, every single lap again. But of course, very, very happy to be in front. But yeah, the track is very challenging in the wet.
I think at the end, my first lap was really good. The second lap, I lost a lot of temperature on that in-between lap, which I was advised by the team to do a slow lap, and I don't know why sometimes I just don't do what I do. But yeah, you live and you learn.
Well, there are many things this afternoon that we have never seen before, but now we have 20 cars in the pit lane and a light about to go green, and Bernd Mailander in the safety car after a wait of about 3 hours can leave the pit lane finally and lead the cars out onto the track finally.
You can see the time now counting down top left, so the 1 hour that under force majeure rules they decided to keep in their pockets at the FIA for a potential race is now counting down. So the race is unquestionably underway.
Green light and away we go, I think is how it goes. And even Max Verstappen, they're trying to pull out from directly behind the safety car to be able to see what's going on. So the key on the timing screens now is that one lap has now officially been completed as the drivers make their way over the line. And you've got to reach 75% race distance to get full points, but when you've done more than 2 laps, then you get half points. A classification can be given. If we don't go racing properly, that would suit Max Verstappen down to the ground. He did all the hard work yesterday in qualifying to take pole position, and he'll be rewarded for that as we red flag the race with a race win if we can't get going again. And with 2 full laps completed, race control has now decided it is time to go back to the pit lane again because conditions haven't improved. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the race will not resume. The decision has been made, not to the satisfaction, I'm sure, of those that came to Spa and those that were hoping against hope that we would get some racing action, but we can call it now. Max Verstappen wins the Belgian Grand Prix in 2021.
Well, it's a race win. Not obviously the way you probably wanted to do it, but I guess absolutely credit to the job you did yesterday, securing pole position and getting the job done when you had to be at the front.
Yeah, of course, now in hindsight, yeah, it was very important to get that pole position. But of course, it's a big shame to not do proper laps, but the conditions were very tricky out there. I mean, I said it at 3:30, like, let's go. I think the conditions were decent, but of course, the visibility was very low. So I think if we would have started at 3 o'clock, we had a better chance. But nevertheless, yeah, after that, it just stayed really wet and it kept raining. So yeah, of course, you know, it's a win, but that's not how you want to win. But I think for today, you know, big credit goes to all the fans around the track to stay here, you know, the whole day in the rain, in the cold, windy conditions. So I think they are actually the bigger winners today.
Lewis, it's the end of a day, I think, for everybody in Formula One when you don't see cars racing, but I guess it's a podium for you, and the guys in the grandstands are the heroes, aren't they?
Yeah, well, firstly, I feel really sorry for the fans today. You know, obviously it's no one's fault, obviously, with this weather, but the fans have been incredible today just to stick with us this whole time and hold out for the potential race. They knew when they sent us out at the end there that the track wasn't any better, and they did it just so that we could start 2 laps behind the safety car, which is the minimum requirement for a race. I really hope the fans get their money back today.
Laps ahead of us here at Zandvoort for the return of the Dutch Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. Pretty even start from the front too. Verstappen does move over to cut off Lewis Hamilton. That gets a roar of approval. It is 1, 2, 3. Hamilton in second. Verstappen leads Bottas third. And round the first corner we go.
These guys are going to struggle to keep this pace.
Okay, copy. Gap at 2.4. Verstappen at 14.9.
Okay, Max. Hamilton potentially switching into a 2-stop. Looks like he's been given the hurry up. Last lap at 14.7. Gap at 2.8.
Can't live with these guys.
Okay, so box, opposite Verstappen. Box.
And in comes Lewis Hamilton for his first stop of the race. And I say first stop of the race because I don't expect those medium tyres to go between now and the end of 72 laps.
Box and pit confirm, Max. Box, pit confirm.
Max is going to react. That's all he has to do today. Just cover Lewis.
If you think Mercedes pit box is tight, well, it's even tighter for Max Verstappen. But in he comes, 3.6 seconds. Lewis Hamilton was stationary, 2.7 seconds. Max Verstappen was stationary. So Red Bull winning the pit stop battle on this occasion as well.
Okay, so Bottas in free air, 15.8. 15.8.
So gap to Verstappen 1.5, pace delta 1.2 seconds. So this is for the race win, so you're defending.
And Valtteri Bottas now under big pressure
He ran
from
wide.
that Red Bull.
He ran wide through the entry to the chicane there, which would have put him on the back foot. And look how close Max is now.
Yeah.
This is his opportunity.
But look how close Lewis is as well. Valtteri has done a sterling job here to try and hold up Max Verstappen. He's not going to hold him up any longer. Because with DRS, there he goes. And you can hear the roar from the Dutch Lions in the grandstands, but you can also see the marbles that are being flicked up into the air when he went offline. Now, going offline is Valtteri Bottas to let Lewis Hamilton through.
Valtteri, it's James. Please abort the fastest lap attempt before the end of the lap.
He did slow down. He did abort the fastest lap attempt. He's still got the fastest lap though.
I need that extra point, guys.
Copy, we're on it.
This weekend in Holland, he is going to win as a Dutch driver, a Dutch national, and it is double Dutch delight for Max Verstappen, who crosses the line to win the Dutch Grand Prix.
Okay, well done, Lewis. That's P2 and fastest lap.
Thank you very much, guys. Amazing strategy. We were really sharp today. And nice pushing 72 laps here. I love it. Great job, guys.
Max Verstappen, you have just won the Heineken Dutch Grand Prix in front of the royal family and this amazing crowd. What does this win mean to you?
As you can hear already, it's just incredible. Of course, you know, the expectations were very high going into the weekend, and it's never easy to fulfill that. But yeah, I'm of course so happy to win here, to take the lead as well in the championship. It's just an amazing day with just the whole crowd. You know, it's incredible.
Lewis, how was it here? Hard work out there? Sweaty?
Man, what a race, what a crowd. Honestly, it's been an amazing weekend. Max did a great job. Congratulations to him. I gave it absolutely everything today, flat out. Pushed as hard as I could, but they were just too quick for us. So I've had an amazing time here in Holland, thanks to the crowd. So thank you so much for having us.
These are nervy moments, not just for those on the grid, but for those on the pit wall and those cheering on their heroes as well. 18 laps, it's the second F1 sprint, and it's lights out and away we go. Bottas gets away well, as does Max Verstappen, and Hamilton's trying to cut him off, and also hamper Lando Norris as well, and he's losing out, is Hamilton here, and Valtteri Bottas leads by Max Verstappen into the first chicane. Then comes Daniel Ricciardo, then Lando Norris, Pierre Gasly, and Lewis Hamilton, who's had a bit of a shocker at the start and has gone back 4 places. The two Alpines are battling each other, and there's damage there to Pierre Gasly's AlphaTauri as his front wing comes off and he crashes at the Curva Grande, but Gasly is out.
Safety car deployed, Max. Safety car deployed. Dash positive, dash positive.
Safety cars disappeared for a while now though, and we can get racing again. And Valtteri Bottas has made the jump, and he's got a very good start. Ahead of Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo in 3rd place. Then comes Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton.
So as he's picked up the throttle, he's a little bit high on the line, but yeah, just lit up the rear tyres.
Yeah, well done, Max. That's pole position for tomorrow.
Yeah, it was good. The start was important.
Yeah, Lewis P4.
Yeah, I mean, it was important to have a good start, and we did that, especially on a weekend like this where we seem to be a little behind Mercedes. It was crucial, you know, a result like this, but of course I know that tomorrow are the main points, and you know, Lewis starting forward, Valtteri coming from the back, they still have a lot of pace in their car.
Trying to overtake the McLarens was just impossible for me, unfortunately, so yeah, it's going to be tough tomorrow.
5 lights on, ahead of the drivers, it's lights out and away we go. They weren't held for long, and Verstappen does get away well. Alongside him is Daniel Ricciardo, and Ricciardo is inching into the lead. Daniel Ricciardo will have the inside line here, ahead of Max Verstappen. Hamilton has gone away well too. It's Ricciardo into the first chicane, ahead of Verstappen. Hamilton on the outside of Lando Norris. Giovinazzi's made up a place, past Carlos Sainz, and he's now battling with Charles Leclerc. And to the Curva Grande we go.
That was perfect for Hamilton, straight up into third place, went around the outside of turn 2. He's directly behind his championship rival. Indeed, he's alongside him.
And Hamilton and Verstappen go into the second chicane, and Hamilton goes off onto the rumble strips and is forced wide, and he might lose a place here to Lando Norris as Antonio Giovinazzi has spun round and loses his front wing. It is Ricciardo that leads from Verstappen. Norris and Hamilton is back in form.
Really hard to get close.
Yep, understood. They just have to wait for an opportunity.
Well, Hamilton is a lot closer to Lando Norris. I'm just going to stop you there because I think Hamilton with a bit of DRS here as Norris tries to break the toe is going to go for a move under braking. Lando Norris just squeezes Lewis Hamilton to the far left-hand side and very gently and very subtly there stop Hamilton from making a risky move. But Hamilton's going to come back at him, not just through the Curva Grande, but towards the Della Roggia chicane. And Hamilton on the inside has got enough of a gap there. Has he got the pace in a straight fight with Norris? Not on this occasion. Norris under braking holds on to that third place.
Box and pit confirm, please, Max. Box, pit confirm. Opposite Daniel, stay out. Opposite Daniel.
He comes in, hits his marks very well. The tyres come off, the new tyres go on. That's perfect, absolutely perfect. I can't believe, is Verstappen in? Surely not, Crofty.
Keep the pressure on. It wasn't a super quick stop from McLaren.
Yeah, my tyres are fucked.
Still waiting is Max Verstappen. What is happening down at Red Bull? The kings of the sub 2 second pit stop. They'll be lucky if that's sub 10 seconds. No, 11 seconds on the grid for Max Verstappen.
So very slow stop for Verstappen. Very slow stop for Verstappen. Right, nice work, Lewis. This is on. Come on, mate. It's going to be tight on exit.
Onto the racetrack now, and is he going to be ahead of Lando Norris? That's the big key. No, he's not. And there's Max Verstappen right behind Hamilton into the first chicane. Once again, it's wheel to wheel. Hamilton and Verstappen, and this time Verstappen and Hamilton have crashed out, and they are both out.
What a bizarre incident. Absolutely bizarre.
Can I get your view of the incident that took you both out?
Just from what I remember, I mean, I was racing as hard as I could. Finally got past Lando. I was in the lead, or time-wise, they told me I was in the lead, so they pitted me. Pit stop was obviously slow. Lost a couple of seconds, and I think a second and a bit, whatever it is. Came out. I saw that the Daniel came past. Max was coming. I made sure I left a car's width on the outside for him. I went into turn 1 and I was ahead, and I was ahead going into turn 2, and then all of a sudden he was on top of me. So
He's saying that you didn't leave him space. Could he have done what you did on lap 1 and what you did in Imola, go to the curbs?
Absolutely. I mean, is exactly the same scenario that happened in turn 4, where I went round the outside. I was exactly the same position, but I gave way, and that's racing. He just didn't want to give way today, and he knew that when he was going into 2 that what was going to happen.
Can I take your view on the incident that took you both out of the race?
Yeah, I mean, of course we realized it was going to be close into turn 1, so we cut across already after the white line, and I had to go onto the green part to not touch. And I went around the outside, and of course you realize I was going for it, so he just kept on squeezing me, and I just, I wanted to work with him because I wanted to race. Of course, people then automatically start talking about Silverstone. But you know, these things happen. Of course, it was not nice at the time, but I think we're all professional enough to just get on with it and keep on racing each other. But then I didn't expect him to just keep on squeezing, because he didn't even need to. But even if he would have left me just the car width, we would have raced out of turn 2 anyway. And I think he would have probably still been in front. But then, yeah, he just kept on pushing me wider and wider. And at one point, there was no way to go. Like, he just pushed me onto the sausage curb. And that's why, at the end of the day, we touched because of the rear tire. Then, you know, bumped up to his tire.
Hi Max, obviously the big news is that you'll be taking on a new power unit for the rest of the weekend. Was that always the plan, or did you have a look at the FP1 results and think it would be a better move?
It's not only the results. I mean, I said before that we'll take everything into account, also with the weather for tomorrow, so we thought it would be best to take it here.
Now you've got good experience of carving through the field here back in 2018. How was the car feeling today, and are you feeling confident of being able to repeat that this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, of course, in 2018 the gaps to the midfield were a bit bigger, so naturally I think it will be a bit more difficult to come through. But we had to take the penalty anyway, and you know, if we wouldn't have taken it here, we would have taken it somewhere else. So we thought, okay, now we'll decide to do it here, and we'll try to make the best of it in the race.
And there they are, the shiny, dry, slick tyres, red stripe on the outer extremities, soft tyres for George Russell.
But get through here, keep the temperature in them, and that's the thing, is just don't let the temperature come out the carcass and at the surface. If you can keep some in there, but you can see it's a dry line all the way down the straight, and that's the biggest thing.
So those other cars are taking slicks. Let us know if you think that's the direction.
It's definitely drying up.
Okay, let's so box. So all cars are taking slicks.
Just hit the wall, man. Hit the wall. Shit.
Plenty of time.
I think I damaged the car.
They practice this day in, day out at the racetrack, and that's why they're having to change it, because look, the left-hand side is hanging on by a thread. Drama for Lewis Hamilton.
Shit, sorry about that, guys.
Still plenty of time in hand, Lewis, no sweat.
I can't get temperature, man.
Okay, copy, Lewis, just do what you can.
Bottas and Hamilton, they've just got the one lap to try and do this.
But I got one lap.
Well, we're only going to get one shot at this, Lewis. Let's see what we can do.
Right, Hamilton, we can watch on board with. Sainz goes onto pole position with a 1:42.5 Ferrari on pole here in Sochi. But who's got pace behind him? Lewis Hamilton is not going to improve on the front row. Ricciardo goes third fastest. Lando Norris crosses the line. Lando Norris is on pole for the first time in his Formula One career, unless someone can deny him. George Russell goes third fastest.
It's difficult to say. I mean, one lap was not enough. You needed to be able to do more. It was right on the cusp of timing of coming in, so I was really trying to rush to get in and out as quick as possible, and 100% my fault. I'm really sorry to the team. Ultimately, really disappointed in myself.
We went out on inters, the grip was good, so yeah, we decided, of course, not to do too many laps because I would start last anyway, so it's just a bit of waste of laps, you know, on the material.
There is the youngest pole sitter, Max Verstappen, starting at the back today after taking that extra engine from his allocation for the season and being sent to the back of the grid as a result.
And last car approach grid.
It's the Russian Grand Prix. 5 lights are on, and it's lights out, away we go. Lando Norris does get away very well. Daniel Ricciardo too, and Norris now leads George Russell, who's ahead of Carlos Sainz, with Ricciardo coming up alongside him. And Sainz is getting a good slipstream. Hamilton trying to go down the inside. Into the first braking zone we go. Carlos Sainz locks up, going straight on. It's Fernando Alonso. It's Sainz in the lead from Lando Norris. Then comes George Russell, and then a very good start for Lance Stroll. Lewis Hamilton is wheel to wheel with Daniel Ricciardo as towards turn 4 we go now. It is Sainz out in front for Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton is now along just ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. Sainz from Norris, then comes the Williams of George Russell, and then Fernando Alonso just behind Lance Stroll with Hamilton on the inside.
Yeah, Hamilton, he's having a tough lap, and this is where people can have a bit more risk than he can have, and there's Daniel Ricciardo, he's went up the inside of Hamilton, so next up's Perez, he'll be putting a challenge on, because he knows how important it is for their team to do that.
Ferrari lead McLaren, George Russell is in third, Lance Stroll, as you mentioned, Paul, in fourth place, ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton in seventh, and Hamilton is putting the squeeze, or trying to, on Fernando Alonso, but not getting the results.
Is that a sign of some rain, Crofty, or are they saying some kind of oily surface because the flag that's gone out, the yellow, and there's Hamilton.
Hamilton round turn 3, he's taking the long way round as he got the momentum to try and squeeze ahead, as into turn 4 they go. Hamilton has got past Fernando Alonso and made a move up into 6th place. On board now with Max Verstappen. Is he looking at a move on Valtteri Bottas? Is he going down the inside? He's going to try, you know, and he's going to succeed as well. Verstappen has cleared Valtteri Bottas. That's a big move for Max Verstappen in the championship battle, because he's now free of one Mercedes.
You still currently B-Val offset -2, that's just interesting.
Max Verstappen has now got past Pierre Gasly. Same move, same corner, another place made up.
It says it's easy flat through turn 3, but did you see the wobble that Verstappen had through turn 3?
Whoa! Verstappen was trying an opportunist move down the inside there and had to back out, but he has got ahead of Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, nice job keeping it.
Is my front wing okay? Yeah, I'll check the front wing.
We'll have a look.
Get ready to undercut him.
Let's do it.
Box this lap, box this lap.
So box, opposite Ricciardo. Box, opposite Ricciardo.
Mercedes in the pit lane, Crofty. Mercedes mechanics are running out. Oh, they're slow. It's a slow pit stop, Crofty.
We can see he's still stationary. Finally, Daniel Ricciardo is released. So Mercedes did the opposite to McLaren.
Okay, copy, Max.
I can't turn the car.
Here we go, Red Bull mechanics with a set of the medium tyres there. Hamilton is in and out as the Red Bull is getting serviced at the same time. It's a bit slower there for Max Verstappen as he comes back up.
So Ricciardo will be with you. He is 1.5 behind.
Lewis, you can win this race.
And he's got better pace than Carlos Sainz, and into the first braking zone they go. At turn 2, Hamilton makes the move on Carlos Sainz.
And Lewis, there's still the threat of rain towards the end. There's risk of rain increasing. It would arrive around turn 5 area first.
And Lando, umbrellas are going up.
Spitting quite a bit.
Okay, Lando, this intensity will stay till the end of the race, we think.
As you can see, the rain signs there. Hamilton is getting so much closer to Lando Norris. These next 2 corners are really critical as Lando Norris goes wide, and you can see just how slippy it is for both Norris and for Hamilton. Verstappen has carried on, Leclerc has carried on.
Norris has went wide.
Norris has gone wide. Norris is just tiptoeing his way around the track, and he is not the only one out there to do it.
It's pretty slippery, but it's not raining much.
And box for Inters.
Hamilton's coming in. No, he's not. He's told to box for Inters. Was that a bluff? Double bluff?
Track very slippery from here to turn 10. Lots of cars going off.
Yeah, shut up!
Well, people are going off. I'm not sure what to do here.
Box and pit confirm, Max. Box, pit confirm.
Lando, what do you think about it Inter? What do you think about it in Inter?
No! So box.
It's stopped raining, man.
So box, confirmed. There's more coming.
Okay, Lando, Hamilton has taken it. He's gone to an Inter.
Yes, I see. We just got to commit to staying.
So if Norris tries to hang this out, he's going to be in trouble. He's getting overtaken by Mazepin on Inter.
Heavy rain here, mate, heavy rain.
Copy, mate, copy. Keep it on the black stuff.
It's full wet, boys. I got a box. I want to shut.
Yep, we're going to come in.
I can't do this.
We're going to come in. We're going to box.
And Hamilton takes the lead of the race as Lando Norris slides off the track and avoids the barriers, manages to keep going, but Hamilton takes the lead. Lewis Hamilton now leads the Russian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen is the man in third place.
Okay, Max, so Hamilton in the lead on Inters. Norris has just spun at turn 5. He's still on slicks. P2 is on here, mate.
All right, let's go.
Hamilton is going to get 100. He came into this race as a gladiator. He finds the checkered flag as a centurion. Lewis Hamilton, it's 100 race victories.
Get in there, Lewis. That's it, mate. That's the 100.
Great effort, guys. Woo! That was hard work, man. It's taken us a long time to get that 100. But so grateful for all of you, for all the work back in the factory and here. Thanks so much for not giving up on me.
Well, we definitely take that one. Wow. Okay, that was the end a good call. I think we took the right lap.
A little sense of relief because after yesterday's qualifying you were a little bit in the wars and emotionally and up and a down, but how do you feel having finally overcome this here in Russia?
Yeah, I mean, going to bed last night, obviously not the happiest, obviously, with the job that I did yesterday. And I watched the replay over and over again, and there were subtle mistakes, but just not ideal. And I was so determined when I came in and woke up this morning. I woke up with a bit of pain in my neck, but Ange worked on it. She's been fantastic the last 2 weeks. I couldn't have done it without her. And then I was just determined just to do the best job I could. And it was tough. I lost a lot of ground at the start, just trying to stay out of trouble. And obviously Max must have done a really great job to come up to second from last. So yeah, we got our work cut out.
Well, all the way from the back to the podium, but not only the podium, but second place. What do you say about that? I mean, a little bit of luck with the rain, but did your heart sink at any moment in that race? You were stuck a little bit.
It was pretty tricky on the in-lap to make the call to go to Inters, but at one point it was really, really slippery, and I think we decided at the right time to pit, because if we would have gone one lap earlier, you would have probably destroyed the Inters in the last sector. But of course, to come from last to second, yeah, is very, very good. And the race itself was not very easy because it was very difficult to pass again. And once you got stuck, very easy to also damage your tires. But luckily, with the rain, it helped us to make that last jump.
Bottas has got to watch out for Verstappen on the inside, and Hamilton starting 11th. Where does he position his car at the start?
It's a tricky one because he doesn't want to be too aggressive, but the problem is if everyone's being aggressive around him and he's being a little bit calmer, that's when incidents happen. So he's just got to go with the flow.
But with only 2 points between Hamilton and Verstappen, it's damage limitation for Mercedes, just as it was for Red Bull last time out in Sochi. The lights start to go on. We're all set for the 2021 Turkish Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. Bottas in the second phase looked to stutter a little bit, but Verstappen is not coming alongside him. It's Bottas that leads from Verstappen.
There's Lewis trying to get past Sebastian Vettel as they go through turn 6. Lewis keeping out of trouble.
And on the inside, or the outside, first off, of Esteban Ocon, and getting past Esteban Ocon. Hamilton is in a 10th place at the moment, ahead of Ocon in 11th. There's your race leader, Valtteri Bottas, ahead of Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc runs third. Then comes Sergio Perez, who's in the thick of it as well.
Lewis is in the mix, round the outside of one or almost 2 cars there.
And he's now right behind Yuki Tsunoda. Hamilton in 9th place. Here he goes, round the outside. Don't do it in a braking zone. Do it round the outside at turn 3. Lewis Hamilton, after what, 7 laps, stuck behind Yuki Tsunoda, has managed to clear the young AlphaTauri driver, and he's put himself up to 7th.
Great stuff, Lewis. Stroll next car, 1.2.
There's Hamilton on Lance Stroll, and he doesn't need a second invitation to try and get past the Aston Martin, and just a couple of corners on from where he got past Yuki Tsunoda on the last lap. Lance Stroll has been passed by Hamilton, who is now up to 7th.
Excellent work. So yeah, Norris 2.6.
That is Hamilton getting in the slipstream of Lando Norris and proving that if you've got a 1.4 second pace advantage, well, the overtake is very much on.
So Gasly 6.6 seconds ahead. He does have a 5-second penalty though.
Hamilton into the top 5. He started 11th, he's now made up 6 places.
Excellent work, Lewis. That's P5. Perez, next car, 7.5 seconds.
Hamilton, though, close enough now to be picking up the slipstream of the Red Bull in front, and Hamilton gaining as the wheels turn round, and now goes wheel to wheel with Sergio Perez. And does he pass Sergio Perez? Under braking, he gives the Red Bull a wide berth just in case. He knows that he can make this move stick in the next few corners. He pushes Sergio Perez almost into the pit lane entry. Perez is not going to give this one up without a fight, and they are almost level pegging as they start the next lap. Hamilton's got better acceleration as down towards turn 1 we go. Has Hamilton got up into 4th place? No, he's not. Sergio Perez on the inside regains the place that he might have lost by millimetres a few hundred metres before.
That's always been way too far.
Yeah.
Look at that action, wheel to wheel for 4 corners. Oh, that was an epic battle.
Box and pit confirm, please, Max. Box, pit confirm. We strat 12 in the pit lane. Strat 12 in pit lane.
This is all about whether you've got a nice little spot to come back in. Lando Norris pitted just a lap ago, and as the Red Bull guys get to work, that's perfect. Oh, that is sweet, isn't it, Crofty? That's absolutely brilliant.
So box, box, box to enter.
So box, Checo box, strat 12 in the pit lane.
Hamilton hasn't made his stop yet. We're on lap 38 out of 58.
Tyre is okay.
Copy that, Lewis. We've got Vettel on the medium. He is struggling. Box, 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 box.
Why?
New inset is the way to go. Under threat.
I don't think it is, man. Is it much quicker?
We also have Gasly coming into our window, mid-33s.
Right. Once again, a difference of opinion. We had this in Sochi 2 weeks ago at the end of the race. Lewis initially didn't want to heed the team's call to box. Eventually, he did, and it won in the race.
Feels like we should stay out, man.
Okay, we'll stay out one more lap. Gives a bit more thinking time.
Ferrari are going to pit Charles Leclerc as they make their way out into the pit lane. Now he's lost the lead.
And Lewis, if you can update us on the tyres.
I mean, I'm sliding around, but it's okay. So far.
Okay, copy. Okay, Lewis, so we think we should box this lap. This will be our last chance before we lose the gap to Gasly. We've got 8 laps to go. There'll be 8 laps to go.
Sure, okay.
It has to be perfect. Those tyres are very, very bald, and it was a perfect stop. Very good work by the safety.
So Gasly at 3 behind. 3 behind, 6 ahead to Perez.
Shit, man, why'd you give up that space?
Looks like we were going to lose the position anyway.
Perez is driving like a Red Bull, kicking Red Bull today. And Hamilton might be able to get somewhere near Perez, but will he be able to get past him? That's assuming he gets past Leclerc.
And it's not looking very good for him at the moment.
What position am I in, man?
Currently P5.
You should have come in, man. Got massive graining, man. I told you.
So Gasly at 1 second.
Leave it alone, man.
And Bottas crosses the line to win the Turkish Grand Prix.
That's a good day's work, Max. P2, mate. Yeah, we can be happy with that.
Yeah, I think we maximized that. It was not that easy with the tires, just managing, but good job.
Okay, Liz, so that's P5. So sorry about that, we'll have to chat to you, talk you through the call.
We have our championship leader once again, Max Verstappen. Yeah, the crowd appreciate you even in second place. I know you want to win every race like all the drivers, but a good damage limitation Grand Prix for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was not easy today. I mean, the track was very greasy. We just had to manage the tires the whole race, so we couldn't really push. And yeah, it just seemed like Valtteri had a bit more pace, could look after the tires maybe a bit better as well. But I'm of course still happy to finish second, because in these conditions it's also easy to get it wrong and you drop back. So overall, yeah, very, very pleased.
I mean, it was very difficult, wasn't it, out there to make the decision and sort of argue that out with the pit wall, you know, based on what you were feeling and the information they were getting. Just tell us about that process, about how the decision's ultimately made.
Well, I mean, the tyres are bald, so you don't know how far they're going to go, and so there's definitely the worry of the life of the tyre. But also, I wasn't really that fast at the end there. I was struggling, had low grip, not really sure why. But then all of a sudden, I'd have a not such bad pace. So, but I was losing performance to the guys behind. But I think probably in hindsight, I should have either stayed out or come in much earlier. Because when you come in with 8 laps to go, you don't have time to go through the graining phase of that medium tyre on a drying track. So then I went through this whole sliding phase where I nearly lost more positions. So yeah, a bit frustrating, but it is what it is.
It's a long race, it could be a patient race, but that start has got us all energised. I can't wait for it.
And it's such a short run up there as well, 240 metres from pole to the first braking point. The track seems nearly as wide when you get there. It's going to be hot, bumpy.
Everyone is now ready. 5 lights are on. It's lights out. Away we go. Hamilton gets away well, and he's getting towards Max Verstappen now. Tries to cover him off and pushes him to the left-hand side. Perez is in acres of space as Hamilton on the inside pushes Max Verstappen wide. Can Perez fight back? No, he can't. Hamilton is just ahead of Verstappen. Perez challenging his teammate around turn 2. Hamilton leads from Verstappen. Then comes Sergio Perez, and then the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. Lewis Hamilton got the dream start that he wanted. 3 times he's won here from second in the past. He has made a lightning start and leads the race.
He's sliding a lot.
Understood. Just think about 6 and 7. A reminder for 6 and 7, Max.
It's quicker than me right now.
Copy, Lewis. Anywhere you can do any more management, that would be good.
He's sliding a lot and I have a lot more pace, so I just want to tell you.
Yep, understood. Thank you. Box and pit confirm, Max. Box, pit confirm. Opposite Hamilton.
Max Verstappen is coming in then for the undercut on Mercedes. Tyres getting hot. He's decided he doesn't want those hot tyres for any longer.
So Verstappen in the pit lane now.
Tyres are okay.
Okay, copy. Okay, Lewis, so box, 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 box.
And there is the Mercedes pit crew waiting for Lewis Hamilton. Past Lewis Hamilton and into the lead of the race, and you can hear the cheers from the Red Bull fans. The undercut has been triggered by Red Bull. Max Verstappen now ahead of Hamilton.
Okay, you are free to push now at this stage, please, Max. Free to push.
Verstappen is going to make his pit stop too. That's why he was told it's a push, because it was the last lap on those particular tyres.
Okay, Lewis will go target +6, target +6.
Going long so that at the end of the race he'll be on much fresher tyres and trying to chase Verstappen down, and we've seen him do that before, and we've seen him do it successfully before, and we've seen him just fall a little bit short in the past as well.
Okay, Lewis, so box.
Max stopped on lap 29.
So on lap 37, Lewis Hamilton is coming into the pit.
Here we go then, we're heading towards the last lap.
3.5 miles to go here at the Circuit of the Americas. Hamilton has now got DRS, but crucially, so has Verstappen, because he was lapping Mick Schumacher.
Yeah.
Have just 2 more corners to negotiate. Max Verstappen is going to lead and double his advantage in the World Championship for the first time on US soil. Max Verstappen wins the US Grand Prix.
What a drive, Max. What a drive. Masterful. Well done, mate.
Oh, yes, guys. Unbelievable.
Sheer class, Max. That was classy. What a drive.
Lewis, that was very tense for all of us watching.
You can't hear a word you're saying.
You can't hear a word. I'll shout as loud as I can. It was so tense for everyone watching. Red Bull jumped early. It looked like you guys had stayed strong. It looked like you had the right strategy, but it didn't quite come off at the end.
No, well, firstly, congratulations to Max. He did a great job today. It was such a tough race. Got a good start. Gave it absolutely everything, but at the end of the day, they just had the upper hand this weekend, and we couldn't have really asked for more. But a big thank you to my team for, great pit stops, great hard work throughout the weekend, and what an amazing crowd. To perform in front of you guys is such an honor.
Congratulations, Max. That was an aggressive strategy, but you made it work.
Yeah, of course we lost out in the start, so we had to try and do something else, but the tire wear is quite high around this track, so we did go aggressive, and I was not sure it was going to work, but yeah, the last few laps were fun. Bit sideways through the high speed corners, but super happy, of course, to hang on.
Hamilton's never won a world title when he's not been leading the championship with fewer than 6 races to go. It's lights out and away we go here. And Bottas and Hamilton getting away ahead of Verstappen and Perez. And the wheel-to-wheel, the Mercedes. But what's happening behind? Perez pulls to the inside, Verstappen to the outside. They're 3 abreast at the moment, and there's 3 abreast behind them. Into turn 1 we go. Verstappen is into the lead ahead of Hamilton. Bottas gets tagged by Daniel Ricciardo. Perez goes onto the grass, and it's an all sorts of kerfuffle going on in that first corner. There's Yuki Tsunoda getting hit in the Alpha Tauri as well. Verstappen leads from Hamilton.
Safety car deployed, Max. Safety car deployed. Staying out. Dash positive. Dash positive. Okay, safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap.
And as we start lap 5 of this Mexico City Grand Prix, Max Verstappen leads them over the line, comfortably ahead of Lewis Hamilton. You can see the dust that's being kicked up by these cars as Verstappen weaving around a bit down that straight before the braking zone into turn 1.
It's quick.
Hamilton's tyres dropping off massively, according to the driver. Perez tyres getting better and better. Is it worth pointing out, Perez is starting to close the gap now.
These guys are obviously too fast for us.
Okay, let's stay on Hamilton. Close this gap up.
Okay, so box.
Mercedes getting ready to come in, then it must be Lewis Hamilton, of course.
Box, Checo, opposite Hamilton.
Oh, tyres are good.
And 4.4 seconds safe to Perez.
So box and pit confirm, Max. Box, pit confirm.
Front tyres on, little tweak of the front wing, absolutely.
But they may as well run Sergio longer and see if he can get a tyre advantage towards the end of the Grand Prix. But let's see how long they want to run him for.
Okay, that's 34 laps complete. Plan A plus 5. Plan A plus 5.
It's going to be this lap for Sergio Perez. It's the hard tyre, it's the hard tyre. They're not messing around with any soft.
Furthest checker behind Lewis.
6.5. He is catching him.
So from the planner, looks like the catch is going to be towards maybe the last lap, but it's jumping around a bit. Okay, drain the battery, final lap, this is it.
So last chance then, DRS between turn 3 and 4, here we go. There we go, is that the lunge? It would have been a bit wild if it had been, and that, I believe, is game over.
And for the third consecutive race, he's going to extend his lead in the Drivers' Championship, and for the third time here, he wins the Mexico City Grand Prix!
That's more like it. Great drive today, Max. Great drive.
Yes! What a race.
I gave it everything. Just don't have the pace.
Lewis, maybe not the result that you wanted today, but nonetheless, still a very strong position for the championship. I'm saying maybe not the result you would have wanted today, but still a strong result for the championship.
Yeah, well, I mean, firstly, congratulations to Max. That car is far superior this weekend, and there's nothing we really could do about it. I gave it absolutely everything, and even obviously a great fight with Sergio at the end. But I'm really grateful I was able to at least get a second.
Max Verstappen, your third victory here in Mexico. What do you think of this crowd?
It's incredible. I mean, of course, you know, having Checo as a teammate coming here to Mexico is amazing, but even before that already, you know, all the time the fans here, they've been incredible. They love Formula One, so it's really, really nice to be here.
Talk us through the start. It seems like you really aced your braking on the clean side of the track, but you took such an advantage into the first corner. Yeah. Is that something you played in your mind before the Grand Prix?
I mean, it was nice 3 wide, and it was all about just trying to brake as late as you can, and yeah, of course, kept it on the track and went from third to first, and that was basically what made my race, because then I could just focus on myself, and we had incredible pace in the car, so I could just do my own thing.
Lewis Hamilton has been disqualified from qualifying for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, and Max Verstappen has picked himself up a €50,000 Euro fine. Sam, talk me through it.
Well, this all goes back to the final runs in qualifying. Lewis Hamilton's DRS, the drag reduction system, opened up. Everything seemed fine. He set pole position in qualifying, got to the end of the lap, and then at the end of the session, there was a bit of suspicion from Red Bull about the rear wing of Mercedes. Now, Max Verstappen walked up to looked at his own wing. He wasn't sure. They'd had those problems in Mexico. He just wanted to have a fiddle and a fettle with his own. And then, as many drivers have done in the past, up and down Parc Fermés across the world, he walked up to the rear wing of Lewis's car and gave it a little bit of a fiddle and fettle as well. Now, that has always been against the regulations. You are not allowed to touch any other competitors' cars in Parc Fermé. That is a rule of motor racing across the world. Every international series will have the same rule.
Lewis Hamilton disqualified from qualifying yesterday, sent to the back of the grid, a breach of the technical regulations regarding the DRS gap in his rear wing. Hands were tied. If you break the technical regulations, well, there's only one option, and the stewards have to give you a punishment. 24 laps to come around Interlagos on this Saturday afternoon. It's lights out and away we go. Bottas does get away well. Verstappen's moving over to cover him, but I think Bottas is away and into the lead. Into turn 1 goes Valtteri Bottas. Already, Hamilton has made up 4 places.
But so has Carlos Sainz, also on those soft tyres, and Verstappen goes wide, comes back on in front of his teammate.
And Verstappen getting a hefty hit over the curb as he came back onto the track. So Bottas leads then from Sainz and then Verstappen and then Perez.
Hamilton up to 14th place, overtook 2 cars on the pit straight without the help of DRS.
With DRS, here comes Max Verstappen looking to make a move on car number 55, Carlos Sainz, and that is a move that he makes with great aplomb into turn 1. Max Verstappen up into 2nd place now. Hamilton's got past Giovinazzi, set the fastest lap. He's now got Fernando Alonso ahead of him. He might be a bit closer though to Daniel Ricciardo on this lap. Look how he's almost pushing the McLaren across the line. As they do cross the line, they're wheel to wheel at the moment. Hamilton's ahead by a car length. Hamilton is up to 6 under DRS. He managed to get past Charles Leclerc. And he's going to try and make that lunge, and he does make that lunge down the inside. Lewis Hamilton, that is the best move of the lot.
Really great job today. That's P5. Valtteri did the job as well, P1 for him.
Lewis, brilliant job. Damage limitation. Fuck them all.
Copy. It's not over yet.
Max, what do you think about the start? So you are in the good place, good position, but maybe a little bit of wheel spin, different, grip on the tires. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, start itself wasn't the best, but also of course we were on the harder compound. Yeah. So that also didn't help, especially to put the energy in, around here. Wasn't the easiest, but nevertheless, I think the pace is quite good. It's just around here, once you close up, you can't really pass, but it's okay.
The car was really great, and I think it really was just the mental state of mind that I went in was really just, never give up, keep pushing, still a rise, you can do this, just like trying to turn because it was really difficult to get to swallow the result that we got, but we won't let that hold us back.
And we're ready, and we are set for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. It's round 19, it's lights out, away we go. Bottas gets away well ahead of Verstappen, but Verstappen is coming back at him, and Lando Norris touches, and he's got a puncture on his rear left tyre as he clashed with a Ferrari. Verstappen takes the lead, he squeezed out Valtteri Bottas going through turn 2. Perez is in third, then comes the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc as Verstappen leads from Bottas, from Perez, Leclerc and then Sainz, and the two Ferraris go wide out Bottas as well.
Bottas wide, it's a Red Bull 1-2 there.
Hamilton is up to 7th, we saw him through Ferradura, passing there Pierre Gasly.
Let's go HPP3 position 2 when you can.
There goes Lewis Hamilton on Sebastian Vettel. Hamilton in one lap from 10th is up to 6th. He is gaining in the slipstream of Carlos Sainz, pulls over to the inside. Sainz isn't going to fight that one, and Hamilton, if he is to win this race in the space of 2 laps, has half the arrears that he needs to.
Listen, that's P4, Valtteri car ahead.
So invert the cars in turn 1.
And here we head down the pit straight one more time. It's not very straight, is it?
Second lap, running the crowd cheer as Lewis Hamilton passes Sergio Perez.
Box and pit confirm, please, Max. Box, pit confirm.
So if we're to stop again, what tyre would you prefer?
Check colour and switch. Movement.
Yeah, so they're keeping it coded. They don't want to give anything away to Red Bull. So Red Bull have stopped before Mercedes.
How do you want me to approach this?
Look after the tyre, Max. Look after the tyre.
There it goes.
And crucially, Martini is closer than he was on the previous lap. And here goes Lewis Hamilton. He was last at the start of the sprint. He's trying to take the lead from Verstappen, but he is forced wide by Verstappen, and Verstappen himself has to go off the track.
So Lewis, apparently no investigation necessary for running you off track.
Of course, man. Of course.
But he forced Max to go late into the corner, and he's got a better exit. Hamilton with a much better exit down to turn 4.
I said it's a third time lucky. Hamilton pulls ahead of Verstappen before they get to the corner. The crowd go absolutely wild. He was 20th and last on the grid for the sprint. Here on lap 59 of the Grand Prix, he has gone from last all the way to first.
Max info. There's a black and white flag for weaving on the straight.
Yeah, perfect. Say hi.
Hamilton, against the odds, has come home to win the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. What a victory for Lewis Hamilton. He's not ready to loosen his grip on that championship trophy.
Yeah, boy! That's how you do it, man. That is how you do it.
Woo! Yes! Come on, guys! Thank you so much. Such great work. Let's keep going. Let's keep pushing. Great points, team.
Yeah, mate, we are on it.
Hi, Max. Really congratulations for the race. On my view, had a fantastic race, fighting until the end. Maybe it was missing a little bit in terms of the pace, so what to tell for all of us here?
Yeah, I mean, we tried everything we could today, of course. I think it was a good battle, but of course at the end we just missed a little bit of pace, but we gave it all today, and it was a lot of fun.
Wow. I mean, coming into this weekend, I never ever thought that we would be able to close the gap like we have today. And then these things that just kept going against us. But I think it really shows just, and for everyone, just never give up, whatever you're facing. You just got to keep pushing, keep tumbling away, keep fighting, and never stop fighting. And that's really how I've kind of approached this weekend. Inspiration from all around, but it feels like the first, because I don't feel like I had a win for a long time. So
really, from my side, congratulations. Really, amazing job.
Finally, for me, the move with Max around turn 4, where you both went off and went wide. We know that the FIA looked at it and no investigation. And when they told you that, you said, of course, on the radio. Just talk me through how you felt about the move and why you felt that in your response.
Well, when I knew when they said they were going to investigate, I just knew that's what the decision they would come to, whether it was right or wrong. I don't know. I didn't let it faze me. I just kept racing.
Did you think it was wrong?
I'm not gonna go into that. I need to go and look back at it. But I mean, it's a racing incident. In the end of the day, probably doesn't really matter. Got the result we needed. Yeah.
Talk to me about that fun then. That move at turn 4, where the stewards had a look at it, decided no penalty. Do you believe everything was fair?
Yeah, I mean, we both brake really late into the corner, of course, trying to get the position. So I think that was fair enough. Yeah.
And Max Verstappen, who thought he was on the front row, gets a 5-place grid penalty for ignoring those double yellow flags, and for the 7th time in his career, now starts 7th. And here we are in Qatar then, for the first time ever. It's lights out and away we go. And it's a good start for Hamilton, it's a good start for Alonso, and Gasly could be under pressure soon. Hamilton moves to the inside, Gasly stayed ahead of Alonso, who might pressurise going into turn 1, but it's Hamilton from Gasly, Alonso, then comes Lando Norris. Max Verstappen on the inside has made a brilliant start, but then goes off the track as Fernando Alonso closes the door on him. Verstappen still trying to battle away with Lando Norris, and he's got ahead of the McLaren.
Tremendous start, just what Max Verstappen needed up into P4, and Alonso then through on Gasly, but Lewis Hamilton very clearly out front.
A little bit stuck here.
DRS enabled, DRS enabled. Max is not our race.
DRS on Gasly. This could be quite an easy pass down the main straight. It is an easy pass down the main straight. He's still got DRS and he's ahead of the AlphaTauri. Verstappen started 7th and now on lap 4 he's up into the podium places.
Fernando gets silly. He won't be giving this place up easily, but I don't think he's going to fight too hard.
He's not really got the pace to fight it too hard. In the space of a lap here, Fernando Alonso has been overtaken.
So Valtteri P11, Verstappen now the car behind 4.4. So we need to at least maintain this gap.
Yeah, my left front tyre doesn't want to turn.
Box and pit confirm, Max. Box, pit confirm.
I'm just wondering whether they're doing this a bit more strategic.
It's the hard tyre that's going on, Ted.
Yeah, I just wonder. It's very good. Very nice job, as always, from the Red Bull guys. I wonder if this is a bit more strategic.
Yeah, it's definitely way too early to stop.
If you've got that much of a buffer, Martin, do what Red Bull do, because if they've got it wrong, well, we've got it wrong, and it'll stay the gap the same.
left wing of Max's car looks, the wing end fence looks like it's running a bit low, doesn't it?
Hey, let's have a bit of fun. I mean, we're anyway going to be second here, so just push, try to keep it close together.
See that front left tyre of Valtteri Bottas is forcing him wide and onto the gravel, and this is absolutely destroying Valtteri Bottas's race.
Box and pick confirm, please, Max. Box, pick confirm.
Okay, Lewis, so box.
As he now sees the checkered flag in the distance, powers down the main straight and comes home to win the Qatar Grand Prix.
Fantastic job, guys. Fantastic. Let's keep pushing, man. We can do this.
Lewis, great. And now let's go to Saudi Arabia.
But mate, that was damage limitation and a great recovery. Brilliant opening lap, so well done. Good points today and fastest lap.
Yeah, that was fun. First lap was quite intense in turn 2, but anyway, quite a good race, so happy with that fast lap.
Lewis, after a faultless qualifying effort yesterday, a great race. It looked really straightforward from the outside, but I'm sure it wasn't.
Yeah, well, I always like to give a thanks to all the people that came out today. It was the first time we've seen a crowd here in Qatar, so thank you all for coming. Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. It's pretty lonely at the front. Of course, I enjoy those races where you're battling through, but we needed those points today. So I think a real solid job from the team, just with pit stops and with the car. And yeah, I heard that I can't wait to watch the replay of the race to see what happened behind me. But I'm not really sure why people's tires were going. I'm sure it's the curbs. But yeah, I'm really grateful for these points. It's been a hell of a year. So to be at this point of the year and have back-to-back wins is a great feeling, and puts us in good stead for the next two.
Max, obviously you always want to come away with a victory, and your main championship rival won the race today, but damage limitations, you also got the fastest lap of the race. It wasn't too bad a race, was it?
Yeah, I mean, of course our starting position was a bit compromised, but luckily we had a really good start, and from there onwards I was quite quickly back into second, so at the end of the day to get that fast lap was very nice, and of course I know it's going to be difficult to the end, but I think that's nice. You know, it keeps it exciting.
It's been quite a controversial weekend, I think, for Mercedes and Red Bull, but I'm sure it was nice to get out on track and actually have a proper race out there.
Yeah, no, it was good. This track is a lot of fun to drive as well. You know, it's really quick. Also degradation-wise, I think the tires are holding on quite well. So yeah, it was cool.
What are your feelings? Only 2 races to go, championship fight, 8 points between you two. How are you feeling going into the last 2?
I mean, I feel good. Like it's going to be a tight battle to the end.
He has not had consecutive pole positions in 2021. Hamilton crosses the line. He is a 10th and a half up, and he is on provisional pole here in Jeddah this evening.
This is it for Verstappen.
Oh, did he touch the wall? He got perilously close to it there, Max Verstappen.
Yeah, and he got wide in turn 2, that's why. And he got on the throttle early, the back end of the car still sliding around a little bit on him through there. He has been mighty through this section of the racetrack, and at the moment it's sticking for him.
That's the fastest first sector time we've had so far, but this is where he needs the toe on the long straights on the backside of the track.
Whoa, he's leaving no margin out there at all, up against the world. Verstappen knows this is it. This is the lap of the weekend.
It's Hamilton, Verstappen, Verstappen, Hamilton. Who's going to take pole position here? Verstappen absolutely flying. Hamilton and Bottas at the moment are first and second on the front row as Bottas goes second fastest. But Verstappen can spoil the Mercedes party and ruin that 1-2 as he hits the wall right at the final corner. Max Verstappen hits the wall and pole position slides out of his grasp right at the end.
What's happened?
So yeah, currently P1, got to P2. Verstappen just managed to tag the wall, exit last corner. So yeah, Good job, mate.
Oh, great job, team. Great job, team. You had me worried there for a second.
Yeah, well, Verstappen was on for a good one, mate. He really was on a flyer. But, yeah, nice job for keeping it cool.
Today we didn't know how intense it was going to be, and it was one of the most intense qualifying sessions we've had. We anticipate for sure tomorrow will be also very, very tricky. There's safety cars and all these different things, restarts, a lot of things that are just a little bit unknown. But just keep our heads down, just do our work tonight and tomorrow, and try to come in clean and concise.
Everything seemed to be coming together up until the last corner. I still don't really understand why, but I locked up, and of course then I still tried to rescue the lap a bit, and I clipped the outside wall, and yeah, that was the end. But of course I was disappointed, but I also look at the positives. The car was quick. The last few qualifyings we have been lacking a bit, and this means that I think tomorrow we still have a very good shot.
How will Max Verstappen approach this? Is it all guns blazing? Has he got to go for it? He does still have an 8-point lead in the World Championship, of course. We are expecting some contact with the wall tonight, and virtual safety car, actual safety cars, who knows, even a red flag. There's nowhere to go if you do crash, and it's difficult to recover the cars off the side of the track. So the race could well be interrupted. Will that play into Red Bull's hands? Will it work against them? Let's see.
5 times the championship leaders changed this season. What will happen now as it's lights out and away we go? Bottas gets a decent start, as does Hamilton. Verstappen can't dive down the inside. Leclerc's keeping him company as Hamilton takes the lead into the first corner from Valtteri Bottas. As they go round turn 2, but it's Hamilton from Bottas from Verstappen and the Ferrari of Leclerc.
Look at Lewis Hamilton already stretching a bit of a lead out there, but Max Verstappen gamely hanging on.
That is Mick Schumacher into the barrier.
Are you okay, Mick? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Oh, sorry about that.
So safety car, keep the delta positive. So we are going to box. Stay very safe on the delta. Copy.
Valtteri is driving massively off the pace.
I agree, it's a piss take. Absolute piss take. Staying out, Max. Stay out.
That shouldn't be allowed, what he does.
So that's a nice stop with the medium tyres. It's a little bit too early, but those hard tyres, nice stop from Mercedes. Those hard tyres could now go to the end, but it's a bit of a push.
Red flag, Max. Red flag.
Drive directly to the pits.
And they're now red flagging the race, and this is now played very much into Red Bull and Max Verstappen's hands, because the one thing you can do when the race is suspended and it's red flagged, when you return to the pit lane, you can make your tyre change.
Does this not mean you can pick tyres?
Unfortunately, Lewis, yes it does. So we'll be coming into the pit lane, staying on the
That's a red flag. Doesn't the tyre wall look fine? No, that's bullshit. That's unbelievable, man. Tyre wall looks fine. James, that was a big gamble that they just took, because we're right behind them on the ST. That doesn't even make sense. Does it make sense to you?
It's a gamble because they stopped Perez and most people stopped in the top 10. Not 100% sense, no. It's a risk we knew with that red flag, but we didn't think it was going to happen.
So James, what's the scenario now? What we got to do?
Hi Lewis, main thing is this. Everyone's going to go to the end of the race on these hard tyres now, but you had car pace at the beginning, and there's a few options we can throw in there with additional VSCs and safety cars. Main thing for now is pressure him. You had car pace.
Mate, Lewis is leaving way more than 10 cars. That's just not okay. Mate, it's still more than 10 cars. This is not allowed.
He's getting agitated now.
Lewis playing all the tricks in the book.
And now, for the second time this evening, the 5 lights go on above the drivers. It's lights out and away we go again. And Verstappen and Hamilton are going to be neck and neck going into turn 1, and Hamilton's got a better start. And Hamilton goes into the first corner as Bottas locks up, almost hits Verstappen, who goes off the track and then forces Hamilton wide as Esteban Ocon gets ahead of Lewis Hamilton. tussle up against the barriers.
But will the stewards decide that Max Verstappen has to, there's the red flag, that Max Verstappen has to give the place back to Lewis Hamilton?
It's clearly ahead going here, man.
Yeah, copy, we're on it.
Had to avoid the collision there.
Go ahead. We would accept P2 on the basis that Ocon's on pole, correct?
We would drop you, well, we would drop you back behind Hamilton.
Right, yeah, we'll accept that. We understand the order will be Ocon, Hamilton, Verstappen.
That is correct. Ocon, Hamilton, Verstappen.
Okay.
Okay, no problems.
Ocon on the left-hand side of your screen. There's the lights on, lights out, and away we go. And Ocon ahead of Hamilton, but not by much. Verstappen's going to go down the inside. There's three of them, and Hamilton and Ocon touch. But they keep going, and Verstappen now ahead of Lewis Hamilton. He picked his moment, he picked the right moment, and Verstappen takes the lead of the race. Down the main straight we come, and Lewis Hamilton pulls out to the left-hand side and gets past Esteban Ocon. He had the pace, that was easy. His next overtake, if it happens, might be a whole different ball game.
He'll get the DRS here. And Lewis...
And he's got the slipstream too, Martin, and he is gaining, and he is gaining, and he is gaining on Max Verstappen. He's going to go for the move here. Lewis Hamilton trying to get into the lead of the race. They go wheel to wheel into the first corner. Verstappen has to bail out. Lewis Hamilton has to bail out. Verstappen ends that sequence with a bigger lead over Lewis Hamilton.
This guy's pretty crazy, man.
Max, so let's give the position back to Hamilton. So do that strategically.
Both are giving it absolutely everything.
Look at
I get
this.
the feeling it's going to happen again. Oh, they've touched and they've collided.
He just brake tested me.
It's on.
Just hit him, man. My wing's broken.
No, it's okay. It looks okay. It's been told to give you the position.
Just brake tested me, dude. So I didn't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on here, Max. He's trying to let him pass. He's not going past. Max, could you let Hamilton through on the exit 23? Just let him through now as soon as you can. Let him through.
And Max Verstappen, after letting Lewis past, now goes for a lunge down the inside and retakes the lead of the race. And Max Verstappen has a 5-second time penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. It's Hamilton and Verstappen going for it again, and going for it again at turn 27, and Hamilton has now got past Verstappen. Lap 43 of this race, Hamilton now leads from Max Verstappen. Hamilton is going to give us level pegging in the championship as he comes home to win the first Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Get in there, Lewis. That has got to be the craziest race I remember.
Great job, guys. Great job. That's more like it. Come on. Let's keep pushing, man.
It is what it is, mate. I tried at least.
It is indeed. Don't worry. Still in the lead of the championship.
Yeah, good effort, Max. I don't know why he did why he ran up the back of you like that. It made no sense at all.
Max, well, I don't know where to start. That was an incredible Grand Prix, and in the end, second place. Give us your thoughts on this race.
Yeah, it was quite eventful. A lot of things happened which I don't fully agree with, but it is what it is. I mean, at least I tried it on track, you know, to give it all, but I'm not sure if the tires were lasting to the end. I think it was good for the beginning of that end of the stint, the last stint basically, but yeah, just lacking a bit of rubber, I think, towards the end, but nevertheless, I mean, still second.
We have to talk through ultimately where you lost the lead of this Grand Prix. The instruction came from your team to slow down. Clearly there was a miscommunication or a misunderstanding with Lewis on track, and then there was contact. Talk us through your point of view on that incident.
I slowed down. I wanted to let him by, so I'm on the right, but he didn't want to overtake, and then we touched. So yeah, I don't really understand what happened there.
Lewis, your 103rd, and I think your hardest fought victory in Formula One.
I mean, I don't know. I've been racing here a long time, but that was incredibly tough. And I tried to be as sensible and as tough as I could be out there, but also sensible. And with all my race experience over the years, just keeping the car on track and staying clean, it was difficult. But we persevered as a team. We've had all sorts of things thrown at us in these, particularly in the second half of the season. So I'm just really proud of everyone, and also I'm really grateful for the crowd we've had this weekend. It's been nice to be here.
Well, you certainly have a lot of support. Lewis, there were so many incidents during that Grand Prix, so many restarts, but the one we have to talk about is the contact with Max. Tell us about it from your point of view.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand why all of a sudden he hit the brakes quite heavily, and then I ran into the back of him. And then he moved on, so I didn't understand exactly what was going on, and I got a message afterwards that he was going to let us pass, so it was a bit confusing.
You have made your mark, taken the chances, made the mistakes, grown as a person, and you've got the rewards for it. You're not just one of the greats. Some say you could be the greatest of all time. You're the champion, the legend. You are unstoppable. And then suddenly, there's him. What's his story? What's his secret? How did he get so good? He started early. All the greats do that. He posted achievements beyond his years. He wasn't afraid of the establishment. He's talented, fearless, and passionate. So you wonder, who is this guy? And then it hits you. He's you. Because you were once the young talent sticking it to the old guard. You were once the plucky outsider with the devoted dad pushing you on. It all sounds familiar, right? But there's something else. You saw off all the rest. You beat them into submission, but this guy is different. He won't be intimidated, and you know why? He's not afraid of you. On and off the track, he won't yield. He won't bow down or doff his branded racing cap. The challenge is so intense that even you, the 7-time world champion, have made mistakes. But you're not afraid of him. This is the new challenge, and you welcome that. Hunger doesn't fade just because you've tasted glory. So what will this weekend's story be? Are we about to see the growing of a legend, or the start of a new one?
Out of the way. Perez pulled out of the way there. Did slipstream Verstappen down the straight towards turn 9.
He's 2/10 up on Hamilton through the middle sector. Verstappen crosses the line, 1:22.1. Is that good enough to take provisional pole? We'll find out shortly. He needs to absolutely ace this final sector because he's lacking by about 1/10 of a second anytime to beat Max Verstappen, who's out on track, and you can see him there. Green sector's being displayed by all the drivers. The track is ramping up. It's getting quicker, but is it getting quick enough for Lewis Hamilton? 5-time pole sitter here at Yas Marina, crosses the line. He's not on pole in 2021.
That's pole position.
Oh yes! Fucking hell, I didn't expect that one, but amazing job, guys.
Well done, mate. Great teamwork. Great teamwork. Well done. Good job.
It was a good lap. I mean, throughout the weekend we've been struggling a bit with balance, so I couldn't really find, let's say, to nail all the corners together. And I think in qualifying, especially Q3, that happened. And then you can really take, especially on a track like this where there are a lot of follow-up corners, once the car feels a bit more hooked up, you can really gain a lot of time.
Geez, they were so quick today. In that last run, we couldn't match them. We did a great job. It was looking really, really strong up until then, through all the practice. And when I'm not necessarily surprised if you think about like the last race. It was 4/10 up on that one lap. You know, they have a very, very fast car. When it comes together, they'll be ahead.
The world watches on, Martin Brundle. I don't know how nervous you are, but I'm as excited as I am tense.
I'm very excited. Nervous I'm not. Something is going to happen in the next 58 laps. We're just not quite sure what.
We've been waiting for this all season long. The finale, the title decider, under the lights here in Abu Dhabi. It's lights out, away we go, and Hamilton gets a decent start, and he's already ahead of Max Verstappen. There's a bit of jockeying going on between Tsunoda and Ricciardo. Hamilton leads into the first corner, into the hairpin we go now. It is a dream start for Lewis Hamilton. Oh, and there, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton almost coming together. Hamilton has to go off the track. The Dutch fans roaring in the background. Lewis Hamilton in the lead, but will he have to give out the place?
He has to get that back.
Push me off track.
Yeah, copy. We're happy with the gap that you've reinstated.
And they've decided no investigation necessary. Well, it's like Brazil. Turn 4, there was no investigation necessary that day either.
Okay, mate, so just get your head down. No investigation on the shortcuts or the advantage that he's gained in terms of gap. So let's just get on with this and win it on track, mate.
That is incredible. Oh, rear tyres are really struggling.
Okay, understood, mate.
These are great laps, Lewis. Just keep it up. Just keep the pressure on.
They make a move into the pit lane down at Red Bull.
Box and pit confirm, please, Max.
Max Verstappen about to make what should be his one and only pit stop of this race. The hard tyre goes on.
Okay, Lewis, so box.
So Sergio Perez will stay out and will go on to take the lead of this race. Verstappen on the fresher tyres. It's taken him a lap longer than he would have wanted, but Verstappen back up into the top 3.
Okay, we'll be looking to hold up Lewis. I think it's best to do that.
Lewis will be nervous at the back of the Red Bull, and Perez will have a lunge up the inside. Inevitably, Lewis cuts back underneath him, and that's exactly what we expected to happen. He will now drive past him, give him a cheery little wave, and that was about all Perez could do, or was it? Perez with DRS is coming back into turn 9.
Can Perez make it into turn 9? He's saved up a bit of energy from that battery.
Okay, back him up.
Some dangerous around him.
As they make their way around the final 2 turns, Hamilton's going to try and get Perez into turn 1. They'll have to go the long way around the outside to do it, and can't quite do it. Perez playing the ultimate team game here for Max Verstappen, and this is really frustrating Lewis Hamilton. The gap now coming down between Verstappen and Hamilton. You can see.
Brilliant job. Max is right on Lewis now.
He does get past Perez. He moves towards the inside. He's going to force Perez the long way round if Perez is going to try and retake that lead of the race.
Okay, give Max DRS. Back up. Max DRS.
Oh, Checo is a legend.
Absolute animal.
Let Max pass now. Let Max pass.
Now, where's he parked, Martin, in terms of could we get a safety car here?
So VSC, keep the delta positive. So staying out.
Box and pit confirm, please, Max. Box, pit confirm.
They haven't got the pace to win this by catching and passing the Mercedes, so that was do whatever Hamilton doesn't do.
Michael, please, no safety car interferes in the race, please not.
So gap to Verstappen now, 17.9 seconds.
How is it 17? How has he not lost 21 seconds?
VSC.
We're going to be in trouble. 37.
Can he close down the gap between himself and Lewis Hamilton? Game on to the checkered flag.
Okay, there's that gap at 17.0 for Verstappen. He will need 8/10 a lap on us to catch, so we just need to keep that in mind.
Bit of a risk leave me out, no?
Yeah, the potential to lose track position, Lewis, too high.
Oh no! Nicholas Latifi has crashed, and I think that is at turn 14. That will be a safety car.
Safety car, keep the delta positive.
Shit butter, man.
So strat mode 1, strat mode 1.
Box.
Negative.
Box and pit confirm, please, Max. Box, pit confirm.
Verstappen now has fresh soft tyres. Lewis has heavily used hard compound tyres. They will let any lap runners through on the safety car restart.
What's the situation behind?
So, situation is Verstappen has pitted, he had a free pit stop. 4 laps remaining when you cross the line, so this field has to bunch and then they have to send lap cars through. It may not restart.
Oh, fuck. Is he right behind me?
He will be.
With new tyres?
Copy, Lewis. We would have lost track position if we had pitted.
These back markers should get out of the way. They should unlock themselves.
And lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake.
Let them go off the racing line. Not, sorry, cancel that. Lap cars will not be allowed to overtake.
Yeah, of course. Typical decision.
It's classic.
I'm not surprised.
Race control are now saying lapped cars to overtake the safety car. So Norris and Alonso and Ocon and Leclerc and Vettel to
and it's
overtake
ending.
it.
And it's ending. Wow.
Safety car is in this lap, Max. This is it. This is it.
We're going to have one lap of racing to decide the championship in 2021. Hamilton has the advantage. Verstappen has the faster, fresher tyres. And we have got 3.2 miles of racing action all the way to the checkered flag as the crowd roar the drivers on to the final lap of this race, and Verstappen sets after Hamilton. Is it going to be a first World Championship for Verstappen? Is it going to be an 8th World Championship for Lewis Hamilton? Where can Verstappen try and get past Hamilton? First overtaking zone is normally down into turn 5. Is Verstappen far enough back? He's going to make the line. It's a late lunge by Verstappen, who takes the lead in the race. Verstappen now snatches the championship trophy from Lewis Hamilton, who's trying to fight back.
No DRS for 2 laps, so Lewis Hamilton will not get the rear wing open. Now he's going to go down the outside. If Verstappen keeps it tight and neat, but he hasn't, he's gone a little bit wide.
Lewis Hamilton though, down the back straight, he's got a slipstream, he almost touches Verstappen! They almost make contact into turn 9, Verstappen stays ahead of Lewis Hamilton!
Yes, it's been manipulated, man.
They have shared a brilliant championship battle, but the championship can only be won by one, and it's going Dutch in 2021. Max Verstappen, for the first time ever, is champion of the world.
Oh my lord!
on, Max! Oh, yes! Yes! Oh my God! You are the world champion! The world champion!
Max Verstappen, you are a Formula One world champion.
It's unbelievable. I mean, throughout the whole race I kept fighting, and then of course that opportunity in the last lap, it's incredible. I'm still having a cramp, but it's insane. It's insane. I mean, I don't know what to say. These guys here of my team, and of course Honda as well, they deserve it. I love them so much, and I really enjoy working with them already since 2016, but this year has been incredible.
You've given us the most exciting championship this year, yourself and Lewis. This year will go down in history as one of the best ever, and you came out on top. If you got a message for your team, for all the fans here that are supporting you?
Well, to my team, I think they know I love them, and I hope we can do this for 10, 15 years together. There's no reason to change ever. I want to stay with them for the rest of my life. I hope they let me, but yeah, it's insane. I'm so happy, and also, you know, Christian, but also Helmut, you know, trusting me to be in the team in 2016. Our goal, of course, was to win this championship, and now we've done that.
Lewis, it's been an amazing season to watch for everyone, for the fans of Formula One. Whether you're a Max fan, whether you're a Lewis fan, it's been one of those seasons that's gone down to the wire, to the last lap of the race. It didn't go your way, but you must be proud of what you've done this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, firstly, a big congratulations to Max and to his team. I think we did an amazing job this year. My team, everyone back at the factory, all the men and women we have and here worked so hard this whole year. It's been the most difficult of seasons, and I'm so proud of them, so grateful to be a part of the journey with them. And yeah, we gave it everything. This last part of the season, we gave it absolutely everything, and we never gave up, and that's the most important thing.
You said your focus this year would be on the moments, focus on the now, look at the bigger picture later. Now you can look at the bigger picture. How do you look back on this year, what you've achieved with the team, what you've achieved with Honda as well in their final year, and for you at 24 years of age to be a world champion?
Yeah, I mean, this was my last goal in Formula One, where I wanted to become a world champion. You know, we had pole positions, fast laps, race wins, you know, all of that. But this was the ultimate dream, and now that, you know, we have achieved that, basically for me, everything what comes next is a bonus.
What does come next for Max Verstappen?
A few more years in Formula One where I'm going to enjoy it.